you about. Every Monday and Thursday after Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 from 3 to 6, we're giving you more of what you want. More Action Sports Jax. From 6 to 6:30, myself, Casey Kurtz, and Brian Middleton will bring you Action Sports Jax Overtime. There's a lot of topics in sports, and sometimes we can't hit them all from 3 to 6. We'll hit them all on OT. So join us 6 to 6:30 every Monday and Thursday night right here on ESPN 690. What's up? It's Casey. All season long, we've been bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live before every Jags home game and Florida, Georgia as well. We have one more edition to close out the 2021 NFL season. That comes on January 9th. Join Brent Martineau live from the Duval House at the foot of the Hart Bridge, right next to the bank from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we get you set for the Jags season finale against the Colts, the rest of the games around the NFL, and even some fantasy football advice as well. Remember, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on January 9th, the final edition of ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The abrupt in-game departure of receiver Antonio Brown during the Jets game and subsequent dismissal from the Buccaneers, the main topic today for Coach Bruce Arians. He told reporters Brown never said he couldn't go back into the game because he was injured. Arians wouldn't divulge the nature of their conversation before Brown left. His exit leaves a void for the Bucs offense, but they should be fine because of one player, believes ESPN's Rex Ryan.
Put it in Tom Brady's hands. He'll fix that offense. All right, they're down 13 points when Antonio Brown walked out the field. Yeah. They scored 2 touchdowns, come back. This team's not going to quit. Right. They're not going to roll over. They're going to do just the opposite. So to me, I still believe in Tampa Bay for one reason. Tom Brady's their quarterback.
Rex Ryan on Get Up. The Steelers seek to keep their slim playoff hopes alive against the Browns on Monday Night Football, 8 Eastern, ESPN TV and ESPN2. NBA, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the Nets preparing for guard Kyrie Irving to make his season debut Wednesday at Indiana. Irving can't play in home games because he hasn't complied with New York City's COVID-19 vaccine mandate.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
No open today to start the new year. It's disgusting, dysfunctional, depressing. Jags are dead last again. Disappointing. Looking for other D words. Damn it. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. What's up?
Despicable.
Despicable. Very good.
Yeah. Dreary.
Dreary. Yeah, there you
go.
Dreary.
Dreary.
Drury's a school.
Okay. Dreary.
Dreary, yeah.
Yes.
Very good.
Thank you.
What's happening?
Nothing too much, man. Good to be back. Sounds like I missed a lot last week.
No, did you really?
I mean, I don't know. I assume the phone calls were interesting.
Yeah.
Did you get anything?
We actually did have a good week. I said to Casey, I was like, sometimes it can be kind of that in-between week, and when Jags are out of it, it can be dead, or it can be like last year was, hey, there's a lot going on, new coach, new number one pick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we saw that going.
Yeah, you get the number one pick, less excitement. Get the new coach, less excitement, but you get retain Baalke and, whoa, baby, the city is on fire.
Yeah.
Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz in studio, back together here on this Happy New Year. Hope you had good holidays, everybody. And my goodness, I thought of this walking up the steps. I was like, I don't know if I've ever felt worse about the Jags franchise going forward.
Than right now.
Okay. Like, I really don't, as we enter the new year, right, 2022, and you can tell me there's a new pick, and number one pick, and you got a franchise quarterback, you think. You might have a couple of pieces, you can always try to find some of the positives in a new coach. because what happens is usually the bump is around maybe the draft pick, but a quarterback usually, and then around a new coach. When you get a new coach, there's usually a little bit of an energy boost.
Which there was when we got Urban Meyer for a while.
Right. I don't know if it's going to do that for me this time or anybody, really. I think it's going to be wait and see and win a few games before anybody even jumps on board anything anymore. And I really don't know if I remember it being like this might be rock bottom in that sense. Now, everybody will always say it could get worse. It could get worse because it could last longer and longer and longer. I'm not sure it can get much worse than this. We've seen bad football. Seen really bad football around here, and the Jags have scored 227 points this season in 16 games. The previous franchise low was 2011 when somehow your team and your defense won 5 games for this team because they scored 243.
Yep.
There's also been a 245, a 247, and a 249 in the last decade, and this one's 227. Like it, and by the way, I can make the case the quarterback here is better than any of the quarterbacks that were playing then. Probably, right? I mean, even last year. I
hope so.
Even last year, I mean, you had Glennon and Luton and Minshew, playing in that season. So it's, again, I mean, I think that's where we're at right now with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yesterday wasn't surprising, but it's still here's another D word, demoralizing.
Nice. I like that one. That's a good one.
To sit through for 3 hours.
Yeah. As far as when we talk about this next time around with the hiring, I don't need a spark anymore. All right. You kind of got that spark last year with Trevor Lawrence and a little bit of Urban Meyer. I don't want anything from this team. I want this hire to go, okay, sounds good, and then let's get ready for the season. Like, I don't want any more hope.
Yeah.
I don't want any more sparks. I just want to stay out of the bad side of things in terms of the media. I just want to stay out of the bad optics side of the national narrative. If the Jaguars can, and by the way, doing a horrible job so far with Trent Baalke, but I'm saying if they can somehow turn that around and just make everybody go away and just take the attention off Jacksonville, how bad it is, I will be happy. So if that's the most boring candidate out there, then so be it. I will celebrate that. I will celebrate the mundane. I will celebrate the boring, and I will celebrate the non-excited just to get through a season.
Yeah, I think people would do you'd really take about as boring and average and 5 or 6 wins or whatever, right about now, just to eliminate this kind of stuff. And it is really bad in Jacksonville. I mean, that's the bottom line. I want to talk a lot about different ways. I mean, about the quarterback, about the, where do you go from here? Apparently, Todd Bowles, defensive coordinator for the Bucs, being interviewed. We can talk about the coaching hires. It's interesting, right? A guy like Bowles is interested in getting an interview in this 2-week window, but Leftwich wasn't. What does that say? Josh McDaniels, did he run it up a little bit yesterday because maybe the Jags didn't want to interview him, or did he turn it down, according to some reports? Yeah. I think it was Breer because of Baalke being involved. Peterson and Caldwell, are they in the mix? And, well, they certainly are in the mix. They've been interviewed, it looks like. And do they want this thing after watching it unfold over these last couple of weeks? And maybe wait and see what else opens up around the NFL. Like, who wants the job? With wants to fix it? And I think those are questions that are being asked out there right now by these candidates, if you will.
Yeah. With the whole... Here's what I think about the whole coach situation right now. And obviously, I mean, I'm sure you guys have beat the Trent Baalke thing to death, but just my 2 cents since I was gone last week. I don't know where this organization stands right now in Trent Baalke. Obviously, the reports came out, last week or 2 weeks ago saying how they were going to retain him. Now, what does that mean? Retain him through this season? Retain him through next season? I mean, I think we all assume that, okay, he's here for the long haul. Okay. When you find yourselves with 2 wins in this NFL season and you fire your head coach, Urban Meyer, there are protocols in place. There are things put in place to give you an advantage to get a head start on other teams for next year. One of those protocols, one of those head starts is the ability to interview coaches right now. If you have chose to maintain Baalke, and we'll see what happens, but if being on the team right now, being the general manager of the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, does nothing for you. It gives you a disadvantage. And I'm sick and tired of talking about disadvantages for this team when they should be advantages. Okay? This team has 2 wins this season. Roster, horrible. A lot of these guys won't be here next year. The writing's on the wall. But then to try to handicap yourself and say, well, we're going to maybe try to keep Trent Baalke, even though some coaches rumored saying they don't want to interview at Jacksonville because Trent Baalke's here. Well, what does that say about the situation then? Like, if you're truly trying to turn this thing around, if winning is the utmost important thing, then why are you shooting yourself in the foot by limiting yourself? That's what this Trent Baalke thing is doing. I said it a couple years ago when you played 2 games in London. Does that help you get to a Super Bowl, or does it hinder you to get to a Super Bowl? I think hinder. Does keeping Trent Baalke on the team right now, does that help you get to a Super Bowl, or does it hurt you getting a Super Bowl? I think it hurts you. So it's the same thing. It's just different stuff every single year, Brent. And then that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, I think, by the way, I either could be in denial or I think I'm going to be right here anyway. I've just been pretty consistent with I don't think Trent Baalke's going to be the GM in 2022. Then
why is he still here?
Well, because I think you can fit. You need to navigate some of this stuff. And he was hired to do it. You know, they got rid of Urban Meyer because he was being an embarrassment to the franchise and the headlines, you know.
Sure.
I don't know if Baalke is that. By the way, I think you got to always preface this. There's been one report that said Baalke's going to be retained. Now, that's a very loose word. You just said it. It could be for the end of the season. There are still a few games to go. It could be for the long term. I think a lot of people insinuated, and Ian Rappaport's report kind of insinuated it's for the long term. But Shad Khan has not said anything. He's left the door open to either change his mind or maybe he had no intention of keeping Baalke all the way.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, to me, like, I just don't think he's going to be here, whether it's because now there's noise. The fans have obviously responded, but I think the national people, each week, each day, there's another story that comes out and says Baalke might hinder the process. And what are the coaches saying during these interviews? What's Caldwell saying? What's Peterson saying? What's a guy like Bowles saying? It's like, I think what Shad's basically doing is going to leave it up to that coach. He's a coach-centric guy now. That's what he wanted with Urban Meyer. I think he's going to leave it up to that coach to say, all right, you want to work with this guy or do you want to bring your own GM in? That's what Buffalo did. That's what others have done, and that's been successful as well. So I think that's the way it's going to play out. Maybe the heat turned up so much that he changed his mind. I'm just saying I don't think he's going to be the GM in 2022, okay, and I don't know how he could be.
No, for sure. Frankly. But then let me ask you this. They've already interviewed head coaches, correct?
They've started, yeah.
Okay. Is Trent Baalke on those interviews? Is he taking part in that process?
According to the report, he was.
So then what are we doing?
Yeah, I don't understand that as well.
You're going to have a GM interview a coach when you plan on firing the GM after the season?
Well, is he interviewing him, though, or is he sitting in? Is he just kind of listening and bouncing stuff off and asking football kind of questions? If Shad's doing the interviews and they're not hiring a firm, are they asking questions football related? I mean, Shad, that's not his forte. So do you need somebody football in the interview? You know, that knows the background,
sure.
knows how you're going to build this, might ask a question about personnel, things like that. I mean, that's what I see. I don't know if there's a lot of harm in that. Again, I think it's harmful if you keep Baalke around, but I don't know if it's harmful to have football people in the room almost as part of the committee, if you will, to help hire the coach.
See, to me, right now, if you're Shad Khan, though, I feel like it's a lose-lose situation. Because either you retain Baalke, and we know how that's going to pan out. Not everyone's going to want to come here to interview and all that stuff. That's already been, reported. Or you have a change of heart, per se, and you decide to fire him maybe after the season. Because then what are people going to say? Oh, well, you let the fan base with a bunch of clown emojis bully you out of firing Baalke. Now, that may not be the truth, but that's going to be the narrative.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So it's a lose-lose situation at this point. So once again, I just asked the question, what are we doing right now?
Yeah, and listen, it's a fair question. I just think I don't know what Baalke has done to be fired with 2 games to go in this season, necessarily. As much as I would say, I can't believe the idea that he would be retained, because what has he done to earn the GM job?
Do you know what he did? He tied himself to Urban Meyer. You were part of the Urban Meyer regime. Get the regime out of here and start anew. Sitting around interviewing coaches, asking football questions when you're part of the old regime, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, listen, I'm not endorsing it. I'm just trying to figure out why would he be. Who else is in the room interviewing, and who's asking football type of questions? I mean, listen, I would go pay Tony Dungy $1 million for this interview process, quite frankly.
Sure.
To bring him in and have somebody overseeing the operation from the football side. Mm-hmm. Like, I seriously would. I would do something like that. I would not have Trent Baalke in the mix here. And the bigger question now is, forget about in the room. and that might be important. But what's the deal with Josh McDaniels? Is it the report that McDaniels didn't want to come because of Baalke being involved in the process? Or is it really that the Jags never reached out to McDaniels? Because remember last Monday, Bill Belichick said, nobody's asked for a request to interview McDaniels. That included the Raiders or the Jags, the two openings, the two teams that could, and nobody did. And by the way, if you're not interviewing McDaniels, are you making the wrong call? Because right now, I figure anything the Jags are not doing in the process is probably not the right call.
Yeah.
I don't know which bucket it fits in. The Jags just said, no, we did that in 2017, and we didn't really like it. We're not trusting him because he turned down the Colts. And listen, I think there's some reason for that, right? Or is it because, hey, Baalke's in the way right now, and the fact that you would even entertain the idea of retaining Baalke, I'm not interested in what's going on in Jacksonville if that's the way you think.
It could very well be Baalke. It could very well be he doesn't want to interview in the first place.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't want to come to Jacksonville.
Maybe he knows, why would I come to Jacksonville?
And I get it. Salary cap, Trevor Lawrence, all these flashy things you like to parade around and say, well, this is the destination spot. No, sales tax. We got beautiful weather. Yeah. Okay. There's other things besides that, like culture and the past decade of what this team has gone through. And I think some guys don't want to be a part of that. I mean, you guys, I'm sure, talked about it. Ozigbo from the Patriots literally turned down how much money to be part of the active roster to stay in the practice squad?
Hey, what's that about? A $35,000 check at least?
At least.
Right.
Turned down $35,000 to be on the practice squad.
And by the way, made the right call.
Well, yeah, made the right. Well, depending how you look at money, but said, hey, you know what? I was in Jacksonville. I'm all good riding the pine in New England. Man. Probably could have had some playing time, and that's the thing, Brent. Like you can say, okay, well, he's better in New England. Is he though? Like, will he get a chance to showcase his skill set on the practice squad or playing in a game?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I thought that spoke volumes. Yeah.
So, I mean, if players are saying, hey, man, I think I'm all set here where I'm at on the practice squad, I mean, I know it's completely different. It's a lot more money, stuff like that. But maybe coaches are just like, hey, I'm all set right now. I don't need to go to Jacksonville.
Well, I think that's the case. I mean, I do. I think a guy like Byron Leftwich is saying that. Now, Leftwich might have multiple reasons. He might, listen, I'm going to hang on and look for a better job. More jobs are going to open up for me. I'm hanging around with Tom Brady, right?
Sure.
That's cool. I didn't love Jacksonville when I was there. I've been bringing that up for over a month, that I don't know if he had a great experience in Jacksonville. In fact, I know he didn't have a great experience. And why would I want to go back there? He might be scarred a little bit from that experience in Jacksonville. So, but the idea that what's interesting about the Leftwich side of things is that why wouldn't you at least come for the interview? How many interviews have you done if you're being asked for the interview? And he said, well, out of respect to the players and my opponents, I'm not going to do that, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me, because then you can't sit here in late January and complain then that you weren't given a coaching job or given a chance to get a coaching job, because this rule was supposed to allow people like Leftwich, who's going to make a deep playoff run, or McDaniels, to get in the mix and in the fold. And now what's really odd there is Bowles is taking the opportunity to do so, and Leftwich is not. So I think that speaks volumes about what you just said. To me, Byron Leftwich doesn't want anything to do with the Jacksonville job. Yeah. That's why he turned. Dan Quinn doesn't want anything to do with the Jacksonville job. I think it's clear, crystal clear, that those guys don't want. What I don't know what's crystal clear is the McDaniels one, because it doesn't look like they asked, and now the report today is that he doesn't want to do it because of Baalke. The bottom line is, why would you? I think everybody knows, why wouldn't you go sit in an interview if Baalke's really the problem and be like, listen, I'd be interested in the job, but if you're keeping that guy, I'm not. You could certainly do that as a guy being interviewed.
Sure.
So why wouldn't you at least take it? I'm not sure about that. I think it's more about the mess that Jacksonville is right now, and they want to stay away from that. And that's really my point of this as we start the new year here on ESPN 690. I mean, I'm the most positive guy around. I've asked for 6 weeks for somebody in that building to give me something to rally around here, something to think about, something to have hope about, and they can't provide anything on the football field in that regard. And I really don't know if I've ever felt worse about the Jacksonville Jaguars organization, even though they have a young quarterback that I think has shown some things, not enough, but some, and they have an opportunity to get a new coach with the things that you mentioned, a lot of draft picks and plenty of cap space. Yet, I really don't feel like they're going to do anything with it. Mm-hmm. For the first time since I've covered this football team, I really don't feel like they're going to make any of the right calls that will make it work and flip this thing on its head.
Yeah. It's one thing for the product on the field, right? Now, you can chalk it up to COVID. You can chalk it up to injuries. Guess what? Every single team is going through those things right now. That's
Absolutely.
not an excuse, all right?
Not to look like that.
Yeah, 50-10, absolutely embarrassing. Like, you can control that to an extent, right? It should probably have been a little more competitive game. Check the Jets-Buccaneers game out and get back to me about how competitive that game was.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Check Houston out the last few weeks.
Yeah, for sure. But the things you can control right now, you can control the future, and you can kind of control how this whole thing pans out. And I just think that if you have a name like Baalke around right now, and he is in the interview process, and he's the only guy in that building that you're trying to bounce ideas off of getting a good idea of who the next head coach is going to be, well, then maybe you got to question yourself and say, should I surround myself with some other people? Should I hire some other people? Should I pay? Because money's not an issue. So do you pay a guy like Tony Dungy $2 million, $3 million just for a week and say, come sit in this meeting, tell me who that's where we're at right now, okay? No disrespect to Trent Baalke, but I'm not going to take your advice if I'm going to fire you a week later or 2 weeks later. What good does that do?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, once again, it's a situation where you're shooting yourselves in the foot. You're putting yourselves behind the 8 ball when the rules are in place for you to get a step up on the competition, and you can't even do that right.
Yeah, well, they might be a little bit, right? They're going to get bowls in apparently today, and they might have some others. But they might a little bit, but maybe not to the extreme, as you said.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, Austin, I mean, I kind of feel like this is an easy pick for the Jags. Like, I think it's Caldwell or Peterson. It's just staring you right in the face to say that it's an easy hire. And so maybe the rest of it doesn't work. Like, I don't know if I'd trust McDaniels, to be honest with you, at this stage. I mean, I think he's very good, but I don't know if I'd trust him. I don't want the first-year guy in Leftwich. Dan Quinn, not really. Defensive guy. I mean, he had some nice years. We did his resume, but didn't make a lot of sense to me. Kellen Moore, I don't think he's ready. You got a guy that's won a Super Bowl, and you got a guy that had 4 good years in Detroit, of all places. And quite frankly, I think the Super Bowl resume wins the day, but I think for this organization right now, you got to bring in a guy that maybe has zero ego. And Caldwell seems like that guy. Like, he's not out to prove, like, I'm the best ever. I think Peterson will carry a little bit of that because he got spurned in Philly. Yeah. And it's like, it's all about me going back and get I think we naturally have that, like, as a competitor. But I'm not sure, like, the veteran, the guy who's been through it, 66-year-old Jim Caldwell has that. And so I kind of think there's more of a marriage between the Jags and Caldwell, even though I would not hate Peterson at all. In fact, I'd highly endorse it if that were the case.
But if you want to sit here and say McDaniels is risky, then how isn't Peterson in the same category after how he left Philadelphia?
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, I mean, essentially, whatever if he walked away or he got fired, but it was because he didn't agree with the front office and organization.
Yeah, I would say this, though. I feel like he did a better job in his stint, albeit though, right?
Well, the guy won a Super Bowl.
Not just that. I mean, there was some other evidence that. And then McDaniels, it was a long time ago now for McDaniels, too. Sure. And the Patriot way has not been the greatest way for every other team. Every time they get a disciple of Belichick. Meanwhile, the Reed disciples have done well. So I think there's writing on the wall. And I also would say this. Listen, McDaniels had Tom Brady for all those years, and he's doing a great job with Mac Jones. But Carson Wentz and Nick Foles never played better football outside of when they were with Peterson's staff. And Frank Reich deserves some credit for that, too. Yeah. So I just can make the case that it's a little bit different than McDaniels. I wouldn't hate McDaniels, by the way, here either. I can just see why there might not be as much attraction to him based on what they heard in 2017 when they were doing the interview process and what happened with Indianapolis. Because this feels like a snake-bit organization. How can you not be the Jags right now and think, like, is he going to do that to us, too, if we hire him?
Yeah, for sure.
I think I would think that way.
Yeah.
A little bit. Let's talk more about this football team. Really, Trevor Lawrence, yesterday's game, there's nothing to dissect. I mean, it is what it is, right?
He threw a touchdown?
He finally got to 10. And they scored through a screen pass, by the way.
Man.
It was a screen pass.
Mwah.
Also, did you have a problem with him being the only guy to talk after that game?
Yeah,
I did.
Press conference breakdown,
Am I blowing it out of proportion?
I missed this part, Brent.
Yeah, I bet you did. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690. Today, sunny, windy, and much cooler with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight will be chilly. Temperatures will fall into the upper 30s with only a few clouds. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedrick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Tobacco-free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone, free online resources, and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
You know it's time, no more cigarettes and you'll be fine. A full commitment to quit is the plan. Time to get the pack out your hand. It's the perfect time for you to quit and say, I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back to smoke. Never coming back.
The singing, are we 100% on that, or you're not going to use it? Good. You know, maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors, presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Today on Hey Culligan's Smart Home, Smarter Water Softener. Here's Kevin.
Hey Culligan, can a smart water softener lift those heavy salt bags for me?
Kevin, it can.
Wait, it can?
Yep, the smart high-efficiency water softener from Culligan can alert your dealer when the salt needs to be replaced, and they'll do it for you, so your water stays soft and you stay away from lifting the bags.
I mean, I could lift them if I wanted.
No judgment here, Kevin. We're happy to do it, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Peloton is ringing in the new year with so much new. With a Peloton bike, you get access to new classes, new music, and artist series. Get ready for fast, fun workouts with Peloton Boxing. They've also got new artist series. There are more than 100 artist series classes to pick from. For a limited time, experience it all with a $550 value offer on the Peloton Bike Plus, including $300 off the Bike Plus and free setup and delivery. A $250 value. Terms apply.
Deep breaths.
Mai's virtual meditation studio has never been busier.
Imagine not working.
They need a remote assistant to realign their scheduling.
Blank calendar. Sorry, back to your breath.
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Make calls, schedule virtual interviews, and talk to candidates right from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jax on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at BrentASJax. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
No, not really. I mean, I come here to play the game, and I want to finish. And I was glad we got that last possession to at least put something together offensively and finish on a positive note. Wasn't a good day, like I said, but to finish and score there was nice. We put together a nice drive, and guys didn't quit. And it's just you look around that locker room, it's disappointing coming in there after a game like that. It's a bad feeling. So just doing everything we can to ensure that doesn't happen again. But yeah, I mean, for me, when I'm in the game, I want to finish.
That is Trevor Lawrence. Got to 10 touchdowns, 3 picks, though. A couple really bad throws in that game. Obviously, one off the hands of Raquel Armstead. It is kind of interesting. We were talking about this last night on Action Sports Jax Primetime. And he gets off to, pretty good starts. Their scripted stuff is pretty good. And then something goes awry, and then all of a sudden it starts to snowball a little bit for everybody. I think it's to the point now it takes, one bad play to be here we go again. I remember seeing that a little bit with Bortles.
Yeah.
At times, it's oh, gosh, really? And I think it was the Armstead play, off his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. And boom, just like that. And even Trevor, because I start to see, they show that tight shot right before the snap, as he's up at the line of scrimmage, and you can almost see it in his eyes. He's almost all right, and I snap this thing, what's going to happen?
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we've all been there. Everybody's done something like that in their life, whatever you're doing. You just don't have a ton of confidence or you have fake confidence, and I think a little bit of that is what Trevor's going through here so far this year. What are the red flags on Trevor seriously going ahead, or is it that there are so many other red flags, this is where I come from, that I'll get to him down the road in terms of him being a major problem right now. But should he be higher on my list, I guess, is the question.
Well, I mean, he's the quarterback, so he's got to be high on the list. But at the same time, I mean, there's not much you can take away from saying, well, he's got to develop here. He's got to be better, obviously, right? He has to make better decisions. He's got to make the proper read, all that stuff. Any rookie quarterback is going to make those mistakes. But if you're talk to me where he ranks in the laundry list of issues right now with this team, with this franchise, to me, his to me, his play on the field so far, realistically, it's not even in the top 5, top 10 for me. There's other things I'm worried about right now more than what I've seen from Trevor Lawrence so far.
Yeah, and it's funny. I said this yesterday. You go look at 17 picks. If he ended up with 17 picks this rookie season, that's not that big of a headline.
Yeah.
The headline is the 10 touchdowns. Yeah. If you look at guys across the league, they throw touchdowns, they have picks. I mean, Josh Allen has 15 picks. I mean, Matthew Stafford has been atrocious at times. He's got 15 picks. I think even Brady has 10 picks. Now Aaron Rodgers has got 2. Right, that's
pretty good.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's pretty good.
But I think Mac Jones has 12. So there are, between 12, 15, 18 picks. I don't know if it's insanely bad. It's not good, but it's not insanely bad, and it's more than I think we thought he would have. But it's the lack of touchdowns that doesn't offset it. It's if he had 22 touchdowns and 17 picks, you know what we'd be doing? We'd say, hey, you know what? Andrew Luck had 23 and 18 his rookie year.
Yeah.
The problem is Trevor just got the 10. I mean, Joe Burrow had 8 touchdowns the last 2 weeks. In 16 games, Trevor has 10.
Justin Herbert's breaking records, too. Yeah, it's cool. It's fun to watch, Brent. It's fantastic. Yeah, I know, right?
And by the way, Herbert's had his moments, too. But he's got, 34 touchdowns or 35 touchdowns now?
No, absolutely. And at the end of the day, if you want to go, what do they have in common? They have a lot of weapons at their disposal, right? Trevor Lawrence doesn't have as many weapons at his disposal. Now, am I trying to make excuses for Trevor Lawrence and say, well, this is why his stats are the way they are right now? Maybe a little bit. But at the same time, you have a quarterback right now who, despite what you think about him, one thing's for sure. He can't elevate the guys around him right now. Right? There's some quarterbacks I feel like that can elevate the guys around them, bring out their best, whether it's verbally, whether it's in practice, whether it's in the game. He's not to that point right now.
Yeah.
He's simply not.
That's fair.
We haven't got the best Marvin Jones. You haven't got the best Laviska Shenault, right? I mean, we've maybe got the best Laquan Treadwell. Congratulations for that. Yeah. But everybody else, we haven't got the best of anybody.
No.
All right? That falls on Trevor Lawrence. It has to fall on Trevor Lawrence. That's what you signed up for. So That's what I'm maybe concerned with more than anything is that. But once again, I think if you give him better talent around him, then things could pick up a little bit.
I think that's a really good point, though. I thought the one thing, if you look at quarterback play in my time here, I thought that was one of the things that you really were curious about with Trevor. It's like, how much better is he going to make a guy like Laviska Shenault?
This offensive line.
Yeah.
Everything.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
And I think he actually has made the offensive line better at times. That's probably the one area he's probably saved them some. They only have 31 sacks, I think.
Okay.
And I think some of his mobility has probably helped that.
Sure.
I think that's probably, if you ask me one area that he's made better, I'd say that probably is it. Because I think a lot of people would think, now everybody hates the offensive line, we always discuss this, but I think a lot of people would say the offensive line is not as good as maybe the statistics say. This year. And so I would say, but Laviska Shenault's the greatest example. Like, there's not a more disappointing player on the team, in my opinion, than Laviska. And I really thought he would propel him into like this new stratosphere this year. And for whatever reason, I mean, I think a lot of it's on Laviska. I mean, he's dropping balls left and right.
It is. But
I think your point is a good one. I mean, for whatever reason, Trevor hasn't elevated his game. And we thought for sure with a player like him, he'd elevate his game. I'm not sure he was going to elevate Marvin Jones' games. I mean, he was playing with Matthew Stafford before, right? Yeah. I mean, you probably are what you are, but he certainly hasn't gotten the best out of even Marvin. And so how much is that on Trevor? I think it's fair to say it just hasn't happened like that. So that's what we think the good quarterbacks do in the league, and that we were getting maybe in this one instead of what we've had in Jacksonville. But I can't get past how miserable, with the whole idea, if you go back to the conversation as, all right, this is all about Trevor, right? This is all about Trevor. How can they put good things around Trevor? Urban Meyer took the job because of Trevor. The ball's whistling at pro day by him. All these things. And Austin, as we go back now and relive this season with one game to go, I'm not sure they could have tried to mess the kid up more. And I know they didn't do it intentionally, but the things that they did around this young man, I mean,
no, it was a waste.
There was just an absolute
waste of a season.
Mess. Like, and you always bring it up. I love what you said. What is J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson?
It's exactly the same thing.
And Shad should say that to him. Sorry, we messed up your rookie season.
Well, yeah, and that's the most frustrating part, Brent, maybe of this entire season. I mean, there's been a lot of frustrating points. Urban Meyer is up there as well. But we didn't have playoff expectations for this team. All right, now at least I expected this team to win more than they have. I think I had them in the 6-win range.
Yeah, very modest.
I thought that was
very modest.
I thought that was attainable.
Yeah,
obviously not. The only goal you had this year, the only thing you had to do was develop Trevor Lawrence. Right? It's the reason why people were cheering last year when the New York Jets were winning games and you were losing games, because of Trevor Lawrence. All you had to do this season was develop him, not drop the ball, and make it worse. Now, I don't know where Trevor Lawrence is at mentally. I don't know, like, in terms of his confidence, where he sits. He looks pretty dejected walking off the field yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw some frustration.
And you saw some body language with the Tavon Austin route.
And how could you not? I mean, honestly, any quarterback's going to be pissed off.
And he took 40 minutes to come on out and talk after the game.
Whether you're a rookie or you're a 10-year vet, any quarterback is going to be frustrated at that. But the frustration has to come from the standpoint of you had one job this year, Jacksonville Jaguars, literally one. We weren't asking you to win games, all right? We weren't even asking you to be competitive. All we were asking is develop Trevor Lawrence and take care of that dude. And you didn't do it. And that's a frustrating thing because, you know, like I look at Peyton Manning. I look at Andrew Luck. Did they have rough first years? Well, Peyton Manning did for sure. But at least they had the culture put in place. They had the offense put in place. They had the weapons. But, like, you sensed it was going to get better, right? Like, even with Justin Herbert, with Joe Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow got hurt and fans are devastated in Cincinnati. But you got the sense, you know what? Next season, just wait, man. When he comes back, he'll be something special. Same thing in Los Angeles. We aren't feeling that right now. I'm sitting here, you know, whatever it is, it's been far too long. Just end the season already.
Yes, it has.
But I'm sitting here saying, is Trevor Lawrence the guy? I will see. I don't know. Hey, I'll be honest. I don't know. Let's find out next year.
Yeah, that's the case. So listen, I don't know if I've seen a worse coaching job in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Following this team or any team. Like, I mean, there are bad coaching jobs, and you can pin a lot on coaching. Again, I got to remind people that I'm like the last person usually to go after the coaches. I think it's a players' league, but the way they put this guy in the situations they did at times from the first game of 51 throws. I mean, you can obviously say Urban Meyer. If we want to go down the laundry list,
The dysfunction around Urban Meyer heads the list, right? I mean, you're not putting this guy in a good situation to cultivate, to grow. Instead, he's got to answer all these questions. Instead, when Urban's hanging out in a bar, he brings up Trevor's bachelor party and brings him into the fold on it.
I forgot about that.
I mean,
play the greatest hits, Brent. Play the greatest hits right now. Let's go.
Situations like that. I mean, he doesn't play the best player in James Robinson. I mean, obviously they have some significant injuries. The only thing they did, the only thing this franchise did, in my estimation, to help Trevor Lawrence this year was to trade for Dan Arnold. That was the only move they made that helped this guy out. Now, you could say in free agency they helped get Marvin Jones, but outside
Travis
of that,
Etienne might have been the plan if he stays healthy.
Again, you got to knock. Listen, you got a little bad luck in there with Chark and the injuries. But what else did they do? They got Etienne and Marvin Jones, right? That's all they said. That's all they did to go help him. And then they get, I think the one that worked the most is Dan Arnold early season, and even then he got hurt. So I'm not saying there wasn't bad luck, but the situation you put him in was just ridiculous. I mean, again, 51 throws against Houston. I mean, as much as we complain about the James Robinson part of that, we really should complain more about the how are you setting this guy up to succeed part of that, which we did back then. But we have to revisit it. And then just the constantly bad coaching to the point where would you have taken him out of the game yesterday? You can make the case, and why are you keeping him in the game with 3 picks? Because I think we saw this against Tennessee, and I think we saw it yesterday with the 3rd interception, where there's a time where Trevor's like, listen, screw it, I'm just chucking it. That's what it looked like to me. He definitely did that against Tennessee on the last pick, and I thought he kind of did it here with the last pick, too. Now, maybe it just was a bad read. It might have been, but I thought so. So, I mean, you almost should sense that as a coach. And Bevell has been very upfront in saying, hey, we're going to have him work through this stuff, we think it will benefit him down the road, which maybe showcases the mentality of Trevor, and they think he has the ability to handle it.
Sure.
But I think there was a time right there you could have said, all right, man, let's get this young man out. Let's put C.J. Beathard in.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to ask the question of how much is too much in terms of when the game's obviously out of hand. How much can one guy take? I will say this, though. Keeping him in, he did throw a touchdown. Now, I'm not sure what that does for your psyche. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, you scored 10 points. 10.
Hell yeah, dude. Double digits is important.
There we go.
No, I mean 10 touchdowns.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Also 10 points.
Yeah, and it might take my screen pass promo off the air.
But, I mean... I say with that screen pass, you put that front and center like on some kind of video when you walk through the stadium, man. Like, like when you go to Green Bay. You ever been to Green Bay? You go to Green Bay, it's like the frozen tundra, and there's there's like
video board.
Yeah, there's Bart Starr throwing and everything like that. Well, it would have that screen pass there. You know what I'm saying? Like
a statue
set
of the
a precedent.
screen pass.
Set a precedent. Let's
Very
go. Yeah, man.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And listen, my last part of this is I thought they did that kid a disservice. Yes, he has had to answer to everything. Part of the quarterback job, by the way. I'm not saying he shouldn't have to talk.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he shouldn't have to talk. But, and listen, Shaq Griffin he's bit the bullet a lot this year, and he's got up in front of Josh Allen has done the same.
Yeah.
Miles Jack and Marvin Jones, they're captains too, and they haven't, and they were playing in that game yesterday. Why can't they go up and talk? But it is absurd that the Jacksonville Jaguars had 2 people talk after the game yesterday. And what people say is, Brent, they're just going to say the same thing. That's not my point. We don't run much of the sound anyway. That's fine. But the point is, you have a 22-year-old rookie quarterback answering these questions about an organization that is in disarray.
Sure.
And nobody's really helping him out. I mean, someone in that locker room, leadership-wise, Marvin's been around this crap a long time. He was in Detroit.
Okay.
Miles Miles talks like now once a year, and he wears the C. I mean, I just think it's part of that in good and bad. And guys like, again, Shaq wasn't there for COVID. I mean, he would have talked, my guess is. Josh Allen has done it countless times. Listen, there are games where you just don't want to do it, and you're so frustrated, and it wouldn't be right. I get all that stuff. You know how you always say it's what the money says?
Correct.
To me, yesterday, I couldn't stop but think about that because what it said that Trevor was the only one up there.
Okay.
Showed me that there's nobody defending the organization. There's no defense of the organization. There's nobody standing up for the organization except this 22-year-old guy who's supposed to be the face of the franchise.
Okay, so a few things. No, it's not fair where Trevor finds himself in right now having to defend this franchise by himself, it seems like. And it's not fair, the whole Urban Meyer fiasco. It's not fair how the offense is playing right now. It's not fair how the coaches are scheming things. The injuries aren't fair. There's a lot of things that aren't fair right now in the boat of Trevor Lawrence. But you're the first overall pick. You're the quote-unquote once-in-a-generational type player that people anointed you. This is what you signed up for.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NFL.
Yeah, and I don't mind him having to take it.
Now, the whole thing after the game, where he took a while getting to the podium, there's obviously some kind of meeting, whether it's a team meeting, which is players only, whether coaches were involved. It's hard for me to comment on Trevor Lawrence being the only guy to speak on behalf of the team because I don't know the ins and outs of what that conversation was like after the game. I can tell you right now, playing in some blowouts myself where we got beat or asses kicked, it's not fun to get in front of the media and speak your piece. Now, I can't imagine when you amplify that and you're playing for an organization that you probably want to kind of get away from for a little bit. Okay, like if I'm Marvin Jones right now, I can go out there and say, we didn't play that well today, yada, yada. But I'm probably still a little ticked off with the Urban Meyer stuff.
Yeah.
Like that stuff's going to
he got thrown out there that one time. Yeah.
So to me, it's one of two things. And I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. When it comes to an NFL locker room, it will always govern itself. Like whatever is supposed to happen in that locker room, what they want to happen, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it's going to happen. So whether there was some kind of chit-chat saying no one's going to go up there and they volunteered Trevor, okay, fine, because guess what? He's the quarterback. Like, if it was just Josh Allen that went up there yesterday, what would we be saying? Well, where's Trevor Lawrence? If it was Josh Allen and Marvin Jones yesterday, what would we be saying? Well, wait a second. Where's Trevor Lawrence, right? Because you're the quarterback.
Yeah.
You're the face of the franchise. You're the general. So it's your responsibility more than anybody else to get up there and stare down that barrel and speak your piece. I think that's what happened more than anything. The other side of things that you don't want to hear right now, Jaguars fans don't want to hear right now, but I think it at least warrants consideration. What does it say about the leadership of Trevor Lawrence if his teammates didn't come to his defense during the press conference? If Trevor's like, hey, I'll talk to on behalf of us, well, then where are the captains that said, no, Trevor, man, you're still a rookie? Like, yeah, you get up there, I'll get up here too, we'll all get up here. He was the only one.
Yeah, that's my point.
So what does it say about how they feel about Trevor Lawrence, though?
Maybe.
I mean, maybe.
Let's say about that a little bit. I like that's a good angle to come from. I actually thought a little bit about that. A little part of me did. But I do want to make it clear. I think Trevor should talk, too. I mean, that's part of the quarterback's job. My problem with this is that nobody else did, to what you just said. Now, is that because they're not supporting Trevor, or did they just go run and hide? And let's talk about it a little bit more when we come back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
What's up? It's Casey. All season long, we've been bringing you ESPN 690 Game Day Live before every Jags home game and Florida, Georgia as well. We have one more edition to close out the 2021 NFL season. That comes on January 9th. Join Brent Martineau live from the Duval House at the foot of the Hart Bridge, right next to the bank from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as we get you set for the Jags season finale against the Colts, the rest of the games around the NFL, and even some fantasy football advice as well. Remember, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on January 9th, the final edition of ESPN 690 Game Day Live, sponsored by the Duval House.
Thousands of people contact InventHelp monthly about their invention or new product. Do you think companies would be interested in your idea? Do you want to try to get a patent? Call InventHelp now. Best of all, the call and information are free. InventHelp keeps your idea confidential, explaining every step of the invention process. Join people just like you who made the call to InventHelp.
Call 1-800-217-4380. That's 1-800-217-4380. Again, 1-800-217-4380.
Watching TaxSlayer calculate your refund feels like climbing to the apex of a roller coaster.
Here we go!
And flying down the tracks. At maximum refund speed. Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
You almost missed it. It's the final days to get Toyotathon savings even on used. Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas. You'll find all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's 300 used available. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. It's the final days of Toyotathon even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine offers a tuition-free educational program to prepare the child for a lifetime of success. FSDB offers free comprehensive education, transportation, and boarding services at no cost to all eligible deaf or blind students, elementary through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. Call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org to learn more.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
70% of the Fortune 100 choose Zoom. With phone, chat, workspaces, apps, events, and video in a single platform, Zoom powers all your communications. Large enterprises, small businesses, and individuals use the secure Zoom platform to enable new ways of working, learning, hosting events, and supporting their customers. And now you can save 15% on meetings, chat, and phone with a Zoom United bundle. Visit zoom.com/bundle. Zoom, how the world connects.
Yeah, it was obviously it wasn't a good day for us. Just didn't play well all phases of the game. So it sucks, when you go out there, you prepare for the game, and to go out there and just not perform, it's disappointing. So just got to regroup, got to go flip the page, turn it over, get ready for the Colts. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating.
That's Trevor Lawrence. Outside of Daryl Bevell and Trevor Lawrence, that's the only sound you're going to hear. Nobody else talked. I know I'm probably making a bigger deal about this. We were just talking about it in the commercial break, too. I just think it speaks volumes. If I'm Trevor's folks, like, not meaning parents, like his agency and stuff like that, and I think you start getting a little concerned about the way they dealt with Trevor all year. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, is this a good situation for this guy? This guy's talented. Are we going to get is this a smart move to be here? Like, maybe we should have done what everybody said, right? Maybe they were right about ruining this kid.
Fake back injury coming up in 3, 2, 1?
Yeah. No. Well, but if I tell you what, man, if I'm his agency, I'm a little if I'm his agent or his marketing people, whatever, anybody who supports Trevor, I'm like, why is he the only one answering questions in this stuff? And it caught my attention because I've been here 14 years and I've never seen that.
Yeah.
I've covered a lot of bad teams, a lot of wasted games at the end of a season, and the locker room does get a little more bare. It's harder to find interviews, no doubt.
Yeah.
But you still will be able to get a couple of guys. And again, it's not about Brent getting an interview. It's not about Brent playing a soundbite. I don't think they're going to say a whole lot. I think it speaks more about a 22-year-old rookie quarterback. Do you have his back or not?
No, yeah.
And you just suggested something that I think is interesting. Like, Do you think about this side of it? Has he lost a little bit of the locker room from a leadership standpoint? Is he all these conversations about him having a say in the next coach, talking to Shad Khan, so much attention on Trevor, and Trevor's the only one that some of us, myself included sometimes, won't put blame on. Are they fed up with that as professional football players and grown men? Yeah. Is that a possibility?
I'm not saying that's what's going on here, but I think it's worth at least mentioning. Because I say this all the time, and I said it when Trevor got drafted. He's going to have to earn his stripes, right? Doesn't matter if you're the number 1 pick overall, if you're a second-round pick, a third-round pick. Like, if you're a rookie, you got to earn your stripes. I'm not privileged to go in the locker room, right? I don't know how the locker room is right now. I don't know who hangs out with who. I don't know what, you go on Instagram and kind of find that stuff out, I guess. But, I don't know what relationships are like right now in that locker room. We both agree that it's probably the worst that it's ever been in terms of culture. Right? So, I don't know. Maybe some players are a little turned off to the idea of, like, Trevor has so much power for being a rookie and the performance on the field, what has he done yet? Maybe some players are saying that. I'm not saying that's what I've heard. I have no idea. It's just, it's another wrinkle that, guess what? We're taking now because you only set one guy out there to do an interview. Right? If Marvin Jones is out there, Miles Jack was out there, then guess what? I don't say that. Yeah. But since Trevor Lawrence is by himself out there doing the interview, well, now I got to bring up this question because how could I not? Yeah. I've been in a locker room. I know how it works. So that question definitely comes to the table. I think another situation could be, well, do you really want Marvin Jones up there right now? Do you really want Miles Jack up there right now? Because we just said it ourselves. This is the worst the culture's ever been. All it takes is one bad soundbite, and then it's more bad optics. Do they want that on their plate right now either?
Yeah, that's fair. Listen, I think those are good points. Again, I don't think we feel that way. We haven't heard anything. I think we have to make it clear. But I think it actually crossed my mind a little bit over the last 24 hours, so it's interesting to hear you say that. Yeah. And more about, hey, this kid's got to earn his – almost like the Minshew factor. That's kind of how we interpreted some of the Minshew stuff. Like, Minshew's in his 15 minutes of fame. Does the coaching staff not love the idea? Like, what has he done to earn that? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Well, this is a little bit different. Everybody's giving all this love and power and, hey, you help pick the next coach and you have a say and you've got a line to the owner. And maybe other guys are like, what the hell's that about? What's this guy done? He's got 10 touchdowns and 17 picks. Yeah. So, I mean, it's a weird thing sometimes. The locker room's an interesting place.
Maybe he should have bought him Christmas. Did he buy the offensive line Christmas gifts? I'm just saying. Hey, you laugh at this. Mac Jones. You see what Mac Jones bought his offensive lineman? Yeah. What did Trevor get his offensive lineman?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
Bitcoin, hopefully.
Maybe.
We'll be back.
Subway gift cards.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
These days, answering your phone can feel like a game of roulette. It could be an important call or just another spam call or wrong number. When you're trying to grow your business, you can't afford to risk missing a call from a new client, but your time is precious and can't be wasted on junk calls. Smith AI is the receptionist service every business owner needs. Our award-winning 24/7 virtual receptionists will answer your calls and schedule appointments. We'll even make outbound sales calls for you. Visit smith.ai to read our 5-star reviews and use code CALL for $100 off.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Small businesses continue to face many challenges resulting from the prolonged pandemic. Business owners are working hard to maintain customers, adjust operations, and retain key personnel. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to offer their assistance. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. In addition to ongoing mentoring, we are conducting webinars on topics that can provide timely advice. Visit jacksonville.score.org today for links with more information.
Men, did you know that over half of all males suffer from ED or PE? Both of these conditions are highly treatable.
Ladies, if your man is suffering from ED or PE, he should talk to the specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center.
If you're not the man you used to be in the bedroom because of ED or PE, The specialists at Prime Men's Medical Center offer custom-blended medications.
There's no pain or surgery. If you have diabetes, high blood pressure, or prostate issues, not a problem.
If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down,
Men are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer. And best of all, it's affordable.
for a private consultation with our highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center, call 904-664-8217.
That's 904-664-8217. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free.
Call Prime Men's Medical Center at 904-664-8217.
Stop everything. Why? Because it's the final days of Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota. Don't wait. Make today the day to shop Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota with 300 new Toyotas available. And you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. Plus, every new car purchase at Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty. But you're running out of time. Only days remain until Toyotathon is gone. So stop everything and shop in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Hurry!
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
O'Reilly. Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Don't let streaks or smearing on your windshield compromise your visibility. When it's time to replace your wiper blades, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and see our selection. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades while you wait. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Acura models. Get insanely low lease payments and huge financing deals on award-winning luxury sedans and SUVs. Now's the time. Shop FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Christine Lisi. One day after receiver Antonio Brown left the field after an epic mid-game meltdown, Buccaneers coach Bruce Arians was asked about the incident today. He admitted to reporters it was difficult to watch Brown erupt in such a chaotic way. Also said AB never told him he couldn't go onto the field because of an injury. Arians didn't give any specifics of their conversation, though. Brown's dismissal from the team does loom large for the injury-plagued Bucs, believes ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum.
Fournette's been hurt. Evans is hurt. Godwin's out, and now Antonio Brown's off the team. Where is the production going to come from? So it's going to be interesting. Bruce Arians, what are they going to do offensively? You know, him and Byron Leftwich are going to have to sit down and figure out, like, where they go from here.
Steelers face a must-win against the Browns on Monday Night Football to keep their slim playoff hopes alive. Main broadcast 8 Eastern ESPN TV, the Manningcast on ESPN2. Chargers-Raiders game for Week 18 flex to Sunday night. The winner advances to the postseason. NBA, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reporting Nets guard Kyrie Irving expected to make his season debut at Indiana Wednesday night.
Dell's New Year event is here with amazing deals on XPS and Alienware laptops with Intel Core processors. Kick off 2022 with incredible savings on accessories like webcams, monitors, gaming headsets, all with free shipping. Just call 800-BUY-DELL.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I haven't been here that long. I've been here for a year. So we'll see in this offseason. That's something, like I said, we got one more left, and I'm putting everything I have into this last game and trying to get a win and finish strong with these guys and end on a positive note. But yeah, I mean, I haven't been around the NFL long, so I really still don't even know how everything completely works. But I'm just trusting who's in leadership positions. At the end of the day, my job is to be a quarterback and to lead this team, and I can only do so much, and that's what I'm going to do.
That's Trevor Lawrence. Looks frustrated yesterday. We've seen him a few times like that. I mean, we can now read the young man. It looks like after some of the games, he looks more frustrated than others. And I think that one you chalk up to you don't want your name attached to that. You know, I mean, that was an embarrassing one on a lot of different levels where I think we wonder, you really have to wonder about this defense. Have they checked out mentally? I don't, again, I'm not sitting here to question people's toughness or effort. I think you can still try, but you're mentally not engaged. There's a difference. And I think what they've done against the run the last 2 weeks, 273 and 181, they got beat on the run sometimes earlier this year, but not like that. I mean, now they're just getting pushed around. I mean, it's pretty evident that they just want 60 minutes to go by pretty quickly and get to vacation land at the end of the year.
Yeah, so I'll say it like this. I think due to yesterday's performance, like I still see pride for each other, and I see pride for themselves, obviously, because you're essentially playing for your job, right? Like if you're on this bubble right now, and there's an entire new regime coming in here, you better put out some good tape.
Yeah.
All right, or else you're going to be gone. Simple as that. So there's definitely pride for each other, pride for themselves, but I don't see a lot of pride for the team on the helmet.
Yeah,
and that's what I think we're at right now. I think you have a bunch of guys who are trying to, elongate their career as much as possible.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're in a situation where you don't really want to be part of the culture anymore.
Yeah, 273 yards and 181 yards rushing. Now, New England's pretty good against the run. The Jets one, it's still hard to fathom. I mean, that is, again, and that's a want-to thing, right? I mean, you can miss some gaps. We've done this before. They give up 5 200-yard games where they – I do think the IQ of this football team needs to get better. I would really look at that for whoever comes in here and evaluates talent and is picking up talent. I think that's what the Patriots are so good at, actually. They're well coached, but they also have high IQ players. And sometimes if they might be a step slow, they make up for it in instinct. I don't see a lot of that with the Jags. I see a very slow defense. Not that the Patriots are that fast, but they went east to west on them yesterday too, right? Because they just knew that it was a slow defense. And I think there's a difference between not trying and being mentally checked out. And right now, I don't know how you can say it otherwise, that the Jags defense isn't mentally checked out. And by the way, be careful. Jonathan Taylor's coming to town, and he's 266 yards away from 2,000.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they going to stop Jonathan Taylor?
A little incentive there.
I mean, how ugly is it going to be on Sunday here at home, even though they've actually owned the Indianapolis Colts at home?
Yeah, it could be very ugly. Because, and I've quoted this from Joe Cullen before, Joe Cullen comes from the philosophy of give me anybody from the street, I can make them stop the run. Because it's all about want to. It's all about attitude. It spoke volumes yesterday right now where this team is at in terms of attitude and in terms of want to.
Yeah, and that's it. And I think about Joe. I mean, he must be just burning inside.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine how many chairs are being thrown, how many chalkboards are being put. No, I mean, honestly, I feel bad for it. I mean, I feel bad for the players, man. I feel bad for Joe Cullen. It's a mess.
Let me ask you, what happened, do you think, yesterday? This is less about who came out and interviewed and not, but there was this long gap. I mean, do you think it was a players type of meeting that happened after? Sometimes there's treatment, by the way. What happened yesterday, the game ended really quick. I think the game was over at like 10:04. Thankfully.
Yeah.
And then by 4:09, because we were doing our postgame show, Daryl Bevell was done.
Yeah. Very
quick. Now, we used to wait for Urban Meyer for a long time to come out, by the way. We've waited like 40 minutes before for Urban Meyer to come out and talk. Mm-hmm. Well, this Trevor often might be the first guy out there. Well, he didn't come out for 40 minutes after Bevell, and then, of course, nobody else came out. And so there's some talk that, frustrations, Bevell mentioned it today.
Yeah.
What's going on in that locker room?
Well, there's definitely something, okay? Because, this is the high and mighty Patriots, right? I remember, I think it was Malarkey's year when we played the Patriots, and, that's when we got, the baseball bats before they get – because, hey, we're going to shock the world. Yeah. It was kind of like that. The bat's someplace around here, right? But anytime – Anytime that, there you go, right there. What does it say? Relentless something?
Violent, physical, relentless.
There we go, man.
December 23rd, by the way.
Was that 2012?
A decade
2012,
ago,
man.
almost.
Oh, yeah. Put that on eBay.
Really.
Put that on eBay. But, sometimes when you play a team that you're not supposed to be, you rise to the occasion, right? And you say, we're going to put up a fight and we're going to try to win this game.
The Jets.
Or at least make it competitive. Yeah. Yesterday, for lack of a better word, You got your asses kicked. All right? Got curb stomped. Like mollywopped.
It's like a preseason game.
It was bad. Okay? It was really bad. So when you go through that as a man, yeah, after the game, there's going to be some conversation in the locker room. Whether it's offense going after defense, whether it's defense, whatever. I mean, I saw Jalen Ramsey punch his own teammate yesterday and you won the game.
I know.
Okay? So that's always going to happen. Now, if you get beat 50-10, you better believe there's going to be some conversations after that game.
Yeah.
Right? I don't care what the roster looks like. I don't care what the excuses are in terms of COVID. There's going to be some conversations. There has to be. If there wasn't, that'd be even more concerned.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think after that game, they met. Whatever was said was said. Trevor represented the team. That was it. And it is what it is. I don't know, how in-depth was it? I don't know how theatric was it. I have no idea about that, but I guarantee there was some kind of meeting yesterday.
Do you think by this time, I really feel like the coaching staff has done a terrible job, especially on offense.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing is interesting, right? It's like we always asked, did Urban Meyer lose the team? But I'm almost wondering if, the team, the staff in general has just lost the team because they don't really know what to rely on. They don't love the game plans, the scheming. I mean, it was a mismatch on the field yesterday and what was schemed and what wasn't. I mean, we showed you a couple of spots and there's 3 receivers in one area. I mean, they did whatever they wanted up and down the field. Again, Patriots are decent. Patriots are pretty good, but they shouldn't go 5 for 5 on the first 5 drives. This is the freaking NFL.
No.
Okay?
So I'll say this, Brent. Towards the middle of the season, I think the Buffalo game is a good example of this. On the defensive side of the ball, and obviously I'm biased, I thought that team reflected what Joe Cullen brought to the table for that time. Now, these past couple games, that's gone away.
Yeah.
So I think since Urban Meyer's been let go, that's essentially gone away. So, yeah, to answer your question, I mean, have they lost the team? Is the message not getting through? I think it is, because now I don't see any kind of identity anymore, right? I can't sit here and say, okay, yeah, they may have got curb stomped, but at least, they're still stopping the run like they're supposed to, right? Because that's Joe Cullen's MO, stop the run, stop the run. Well, they're not doing that. The offense has been the offense, so there's not much to really come. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? The offense has been the offense, okay? Yeah. But at least, on the defensive side of the ball, at least for the past couple months, it seemed like, okay, well, at least there's some positive things to take away.
Almost better than expectation.
After the quarterback, a little. Mac Jones is untouched, I think, yesterday, it seemed like, for most of the time. So with that being said, now it's to the point where you've lost an identity. There is not a lot of good to take away from the games. And it's just you're hoping for vacation pretty soon.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's get Steven on the line. I want to talk about. I think there was one thing good yesterday. Oh, he hung up. He wanted to talk about Walker Little.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a good sign going forward? I know it's a little something, but he's played a couple of games and he's played pretty well when he has been on that left side.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a piece that they have that makes you think twice about an Evan Neal type of draft pick? I mean, remember now, Jags have the number 1 overall pick right now. At worst, they're going to have number 2 overall pick. And so you're thinking defensive end or left tackle because it doesn't look like receivers going to be high enough on the board unless they were to trade back. Doesn't look like those are the 3 positions. It seems like. You don't need quarterback, obviously. So I'm just wondering, everybody keeps talking about Evan Neal. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Now, you've got a guy in Little that you've been reluctant to try on the right side for a reason. You drafted him in the 2nd round, and you thought he was really a first-round talent. They had a first-round grade on him. Not a top 10 grade, but a first-round grade. And I understand now this regime might not even be here for it, so they're not tied to him. Yeah. But to me, it's a little complex. I mean, quite honestly, Cam Robinson has played well. I just see no reason why you would spend money on Cam Robinson when you have the prospect of picking Neal or going with a guy that you already drafted in Walker Little.
I mean, it begs the question. First of all, we'll see how this draft pans out here, okay? Because a part of me wants to say, well, take care of Trevor Lawrence. Does Thibodeau, does Hutchinson, do they help Trevor Lawrence?
Not really.
Don't really care then, do I? right? Go and get Evan Neal. Like that part of me wants to say that right now. Now,
that's logical.
Give me some time.
It's logical.
Give me some time because, hey, Shock Your Mock season's right around the corner.
Oh, man, we got people asking for Shock Your Mock.
I can't wait to get in the Beat Laboratory with Casey, come up with a real banger in terms of an NFT soundtrack. I can't wait to get that fired up, man, because it's going to be a fun season, Brett.
I don't know how the supply chain's going, but I don't know if we can get enough T-shirts for this.
It's going to be a fun season for Shock Your Mock, everybody. Stay tuned. I mean, you thought like the last season of Game of Thrones was great, and don't worry, it's not going to suck like the last season of Game of Thrones. It's going to actually be good. But I can't wait for the anticipation of Shock Your Mock. Right now, where I sit, I hope they can trade down and garner some more picks, but we've seen that story play out too, and how did that work out? When you have a lot of picks in the first, second round. I don't know, Brent. I think that if Evan Neal can somehow find the field, whether it's playing right tackle, left tackle, move, walk a little to the right tackle, I don't care. If it helps Trevor Lawrence, then by all means, let's go.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and listen, Jawan Taylor's not great. I think he's had 3 years to prove that he's not great. He'll have another year.
Yeah.
But Walker Little, then maybe you move him to the right side. I feel like Neal's played both sides too.
Yeah.
But it just, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Well, no, go ahead.
Of all years, this is where I said, of all years of the NFL draft, I get Hutchinson, Thibodeau, okay, but are you excited to go to Thibodeau's hometown, Hutchinson's hometown? You know what I'm saying? It's
more excited than going to Evan Neal's, to be honest with you.
Okay.
The tackle does nothing for me.
No, I got you.
It does nothing for me.
I got you.
Now, and let me ask you this, Austin. Seriously,
Yeah.
I tweeted this last night, and I mean it.
Yeah.
Because I saw it. And you saw Joe Burrow go down last year for Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, how do they do that? This offensive line's atrocious. They've been terrible. They've actually tried to invest in the offensive line over the years, and they've just been awful at it. They just haven't been good. And so he gets hurt. And so they have a chance to take, what's his name, out of Oregon, right?
Penei Sewell. Who, by the way, went after Aaron Donald. You see the video of him and Aaron Donald a couple weeks ago?
I didn't see that.
Went after Aaron Donald, man.
Let's see.
Went after, try to punch him in the face.
And then
I can appreciate that.
He's
been
good.
Rookie?
He's been
really good.
Well, and Slater's a rookie too, right? So they had the chance to take him. He's been outstanding.
Yeah.
So you could have taken those two guys.
That's all right, though, Jamar Chase,
And they go get Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
And what you would say is, well, of course, Jamar Chase, they made the right call. Well, they did, but everybody that was complaining about protecting Joe Burrow, they really haven't protected him. They have 51 sacks. That's second in the league.
But he got hurt again yesterday.
And he got hurt yesterday, and he got clobbered on another one, and he got up slow.
But you know what they did, Brent? They listened to Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow wanted Jamar Chase.
They did.
Case closed.
Well, but now philosophically, my question is, does it matter to have the offensive line if you don't have any weapons? They need to, again, that's why I would really now advocate and say, forget about spending on Cam Robinson. Don't say you got that. I'm not taking that $15 million a year and spending on him. I'm going to put that into a receiver, maybe one with even a torn ACL, and I get the back end of it. Now you have to. I think that's what Burrow's showing us. I think that's what Herbert's showing us.
Yeah.
I think that's what these teams are showing. That listen, you can't mess around with having nobody on the offensive weapon list. And they have nobody. They'll have ETN, okay? The Jags will have ETN coming back. I actually think Dan Arnold is kind of a weapon for them. Now he's not Kelsey or he's not Kittle, but I kind of like what he does. I think he creates some mismatches. Outside of that, Austin, they've got nobody that I would rely on coming into this next year, which means I would say you could revamp the entire receiver room.
Yeah.
Now, you can do it multiple ways. You could bring back DJ Chark on some kind of deal. Laviska's going to be there. But right now, if Laviska's my top 3 guy, I don't think you're good enough. I want him to be my 4th guy at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
And so Marvin Jones, I don't know, after this year, Marvin might say I'm retiring. I'm not done with this stuff.
Oh, yeah, man. They just go on American Idol. He's got a singing career to worry about.
That's a good point.
You're going to drive that guy to win some Grammys now.
Yeah,
Congratulations,
maybe.
Jaguars.
And quite frankly, I don't know what he's done to say I get excited about him. Now, maybe if he's your 4th guy, that helps you. But that's a $10 million buy. So I'm just to the point where they don't have enough weapons, man. They have got to go get – everybody else has a ton of weapons. You look at what Cincinnati's doing. They're doing it because of their weapons. Yeah, their defense is okay at times. Their offensive line probably does enough. Burrow's fantastic, but he's got a ton of guys to throw to and a guy to hand off to.
No, for sure. But a couple of things. First of all, can we establish now that when Joe Burrow talked to Urban Meyer about building a team and Joe Burrow said you have to run the ball? Oh, capped Cap so hard.
I think Urban Meyer lied, to be honest.
Oh, you know, he even had a conversation with Joe Burrow?
Surprised, I guess.
I mean, I'm watching Joe Burrow throw the ball 50 times per game. I don't see any running game. Yeah, Mixon's good and all. In the receiving game.
Mixon had like 29 yards rushing.
In the receiving game, he's good. So don't sit here and tell me I talked to Joe Burrow and he really told me you got to run the football. They're not running the football in Cincinnati. Cap all day. So relax with that, Urban Meyer. Brent, I get what you're saying. Yes, you got to have weapons. But let's be realistic here. You're not going to take a wide receiver with the first overall pick.
They're not.
Right? So you got really 3 options here. You take an edge rusher, which, okay, Hutchinson, Georgia game, but, look
by
past
the way,
it.
It looked bad. You go, if you're seeing some reports out there, he played not as bad as everybody said he played in that Georgia game.
So,
But when you have your helmet off in the fourth quarter, not even looking to go on the field,
Listen, I'm not saying I love
got the
Hutchinson
cool
to
eye
begin
black,
with,
too.
but
I
I
like
think
that.
you got to
I
be.
respect that.
I think you got to be a little careful, Hutchinson, one game. To write the story. Okay.
Go back to Chase Young's final game, too, and see how that played out, okay? I'm just saying, go back. I did the research. I checked the film. Go back and watch Chase Young, okay? But still, it kind of leaves a sour taste in your mouth, does it not?
I get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Thibodeau, okay, a little undersized. Can he stop the run? Okay. And then you got Evan Neal. I can pick apart any of those guys and say, I guess, maybe that's good or not. I wish this was like the NBA draft. There's like some German guy out there where it's like no one's talking about. Yeah, there's some German 6'6" tight end wide receiver who's runs a 4.3. And we haven't seen any film on him, but I'll take your word for it. Sounds like a plan.
That would be awesome.
How cool would that be?
Yeah, maybe they taught
can
some guy in London how to play football.
Can you imagine NBA shock your mock play? They must be having in teams like Memphis and stuff where you can do that. All we got is 3 guys, and all those 3 guys, I'm kind of like, okay, we'll see.
I got
Whatever.
I got a good trivia question for you guys. Who has caught the most total yards in their history of life from Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, wow.
Because he's going to be available at 33.
Justin Ross.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Listen, that's fine. By the way, you can find receivers in the second round, and obviously Chase has proven that you can make an impact.
Yeah.
You will. Sometimes we talk about busts and guys that people are wrong about. We do that a lot, but everybody was right about Jamar Chase. For 2 years, they said Jamar Chase the best receiver in the draft. For 2 years, and they were right about him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's not that guy. I mean, the Bama kid, Williams, I mean, he
took a year off of football, too.
That's what I'm saying. He took a year off football. We wondered how the opt-outs would work, and it didn't hurt him. So, but I think there are plenty of guys in that second round at 33.
I'm just telling, they're 100% going to take Justin Ross.
Well, but they also could take your guy from USC, London.
I'd like that a lot.
Why would Trevor
also
Lawrence
take Arkansas kid?
He's going to be gone. Why wouldn't
he might be?
He 100% will be.
In that area, though, is where there's going to be some guys.
But no, Casey, what you're saying is
Justin Jefferson was 22.
Casey,
but why would Trevor not say that's my guy?
This is what you're saying.
Go get him.
Oh, maybe
it's the whole Joe Burrow effect.
That's why I brought it up.
They should have got Penei Sewell. Joe Burrow said no. We'll take Jamar Chase. They're going to go to Trevor. If Trevor Lawrence has this much say, which I'm sure he's gonna say, go get my guy from Clemson.
Yeah,
more than likely.
But the bottom line is, they could get 2 guys in that draft. Now, DJ, if they bring him back and he performs, I think we could get a little excited about that. And ETN, we haven't seen yet.
Yeah.
But now this is going to be James Robinson might not be back at all. We'll see with the injury. So. Yeah, I guess the moral of the story is when you look at Cincinnati, and again, nobody screamed offensive line more than Cincinnati, especially with 2 huge prospects right there, can't miss one, especially. Penei Sewell was a can't miss prospect at the left side that you could lock him up for the next decade. And so that's why for everybody who tells me Evan Neal, it's wait a minute, these guys aren't even going after the left tackle. Now, somebody said, hey, they drafted more after that and they invested. I get it. But you have most way of thinking in the draft is if you get a chance to go wrap up a left tackle that's going to go to the Hall of Fame someday, you go get him.
Yeah.
That's always been the thinking. My point is, I think Cincinnati said, you know what, screw that. We're going to go get the weapon, even though we already have a couple.
Yeah.
And we're going to make ourselves dynamic. And right now, the Jags are way behind in the NFL in being dynamic. Way behind.
I mean, have we done our due diligence here? Is there some German receiver out there that's supposed to be the next big thing? Do we know that for a fact?
I would love it.
Okay, I love it too.
I wish I could change the rules and let some other people come out. I mean, that would be nice.
They have that one kid from Ohio State. I'd take him right now. The
300-yard guy?
Yeah. I don't even know his name, but come on, you're the first pick overall. Congratulations.
And by the way, they have 2 guys that opted out that are going to be right in that. It's weird. It's between 20 and 45, there's going to be a ton of receivers.
Yeah.
Now, Jags, get off those 6th-round picks and go trade up and get 2 of them. Thanks, Trent, for the 6th-round picks.
There you go.
Appreciate it. Those are awesome. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. The Cleveland Browns, right now, I'd take the Cleveland Browns even though they got eliminated. I want to be eliminated on week 16. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
But they went Myles Garrett and then Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
So Trevor Lawrence and a Thibodeau or Trevor Lawrence and a Hutchinson would kind of fit on the building of their team. And by the way, I'll take 7 or 8 wins right now in a heartbeat.
Oh, who you telling, man? Oh, can you imagine?
Even though they're disappointed in Cleveland, I want to be disappointed over 7 or 8 wins. We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, sunny, windy, and much cooler. Highs will be in the upper 50s before falling down tonight into the upper 30s with only a few clouds. Tuesday, partly sunny with a coastal shower possible. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer in the low 60s. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedgick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
If you've been injured on the job and are not receiving the benefits you're entitled to, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville. Quitting nicotine isn't easy, which is why Tobacco Free Florida offers free tools and services like free 2-week starter kits of Quit Aids. We're also trying out music to help motivate smokers to quit.
Not another cigarette would be late. Now there's someone living tobacco free. It's you.
Wow. Okay. Maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Though no longer little, teens still need a lot of love. Yet teens in foster care have a harder time finding it, as 82% of foster families are home to kids 12 or younger. You can positively impact a teen's life as a foster parent. With help from Family Support Services of North Florida, you provide patience, love, and understanding, and Family Support Services will offer specialized training, resources, and a community of support. Take the next step at foster-now.org. That's foster-now.org.
We are here for Magda, a Holocaust survivor.
Things become harder with age.
We are here for Sharonda, who needed parenting support.
I cried out to her, she listened to me.
And we're here for Ashley, who needed to heal.
She helped me feel like I didn't have to be scared.
Jewish Family and Community Services is here for seniors with food, financial assistance, and counseling. JFCS is here for Jax. Visit jfcsjax.org.
This game moves fast, so in order to win, I make sure every shot counts. Every shot counts when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine, too. I got my shot months ago, so I can protect myself. It's safe and effective. In the fight against COVID-19, every shot counts. Schedule your shot today.
This message is sponsored by the Florida Department of Elder Affairs, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
Hello, this is the Crooks Are Us Tips line with an urgent announcement regarding Safe Touch security.
As a crook, by now you surely know the Crooks Are Us golden rule: stay away from Safe Touch houses.
But we just received word that may not be enough now.
Wait till you hear this.
Credible reports have surfaced that Safe Touch security cameras captured one of our associates in the act of breaking into a house. Only the camera was from a neighbor's house across the street.
That is so not fair.
And what this means is it's not enough to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Now we gotta stay way away from Safe Touch houses.
Boss, does that mean we gotta change the Crooks Are Us golden rule?
No, just remember the sentiment.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Correct. Be safe, fellow crooks. Safe Touch is everywhere.
Receive free equipment and free installation with monitoring agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Florida children are eligible for head-to-toe coverage through the Florida Kid Care Program, which is high-quality, affordable health and dental coverage with cost as low as $15 a month. To assist families applying for Florida Kid Care or Medicaid and increase enrollment in the Florida Kid Care Program, the Players Center for Child Health with Wolfson Children's Hospital offers free application assistance. For appointments, call 904-202-WELL. That's 904-202-9355. Habla Español.
Join ESPN 690 on March 5th for the Gate River Run. Registration for the 15K, 5K for charity, Junior River Run, and the Brooks Rehabilitation Mile Challenge is now open at GateRiverRun.com. Training information is available on the website. See you at the starting line.
I mean, I can tell you there's a high frustration level with a lot of guys. I don't think any of us envisioned the season going the way that it did. When you start here, whatever it was 11 months ago, you have these great visions in your head of how this thing's going to go. Obviously, Trevor coming in as a rookie quarterback, I think he thought it was going to go a particular way, but there's been a lot of struggles. There's been a lot of lessons learned, been everything that we're fighting through, a lot of adversity. So he's gotten his fair share of that this year. I think he's handled it tremendously.
That is Daryl Bevell, who probably can't wait until next Monday.
Yeah. Just get out.
Get out.
Just get out of here and don't look back.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Hey, how was the snowboarding, man? You guys have a good week?
Great time.
Good.
Fun time. Yep. Had some fresh snow, so that was great. Got to hang out with some bees a little. Well, actually, the bees, that's another story in itself. A lot of controversy right now in central Wisconsin over the bees, Brent.
Really?
Yeah. Long story short, I don't know if you can blame the DNR, whoever's in charge of the roads and everything. So they used to just take a chainsaw and because my grandpa lives in the middle of nowhere, the cabin. So he's got a bunch of marsh and stuff on the side of the road, right? So he used to take chainsaws and cut that marsh. Well, now instead of taking chainsaws and cutting the marsh, because it's manpower, you have to pay wages, they just spray it with some pesticide. So that is kind of messing up the bees. So my grandpa's pretty upset about that.
Interesting.
So I had to hear about that for an hour and a half when I saw him, which was great.
Yeah, I saw Grandpa.
Oh, yeah. I posted a picture of him, man. Yeah, so one of those pictures, he actually smiled. I had to post a picture where he's smiling. He didn't smile a lot. So I had to post that one for sure.
He's hardened from those winters.
Oh, dude, who you telling, man? Dude's old school as they come. But no, the snowboarding was fantastic. Didn't get hurt, which is the most important part.
It is good.
It was great. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm glad you had a good time.
And by the way, thank you, Brent Martineau, for getting my son Grogu.
What'd I do?
You got my son Grogu, the a.k.a. Baby Yoda.
Oh, is that what we did?
That thing now has, anywhere my son goes, he's got to go with. In the airport, he was there.
Very good.
When I'm trying to sleep, his little hand was touching my face telling me to get up. So he's even feeding him now.
That's
so
awesome.
Congratulations. You gave us a pet, another chore to take care of now with Baby Grogu.
I told you before he unwrapped it, I said, you're going to have to tell me who that is.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I know we got something that resembled Baby Yoda.
But basically, it's like a life-size movie quality replica of Baby Yoda from The Mandalorian.
My biggest fear was that he would get 5 of them for Christmas.
So, that's the funny thing. So he got that from you, and then he got a one that drives around in his little buggy.
Oh, okay, so a different version.
No, different version.
All right, good stuff. Had a baby rodent.
Yeah, man.
Keep hanging around with that thing.
Things collecting germs like you wouldn't believe.
Put a mask on
Baby Yoda. Especially in these times. That's what I'm saying, man.
What I wanted to ask you, I was going to tell you, you say bees. I read this article, but I tweeted this today. Casey, you might like this article. It was about bats like not like the animal bats, but like baseball bats.
Oh, the Joey Votto?
Yeah, do you see that?
Yeah.
It's a good article.
Yeah.
But it was really about, like, old baseball bats used to be made out of ash.
Yeah.
And now it's more maple.
Okay.
Is the long and short of this.
Okay.
But Votto likes the ash.
Yeah.
But the ash bats have gone, like, extinct.
Now, why is that?
Because of beetles. It was a beetle infestation that happened, and they didn't catch it for like a decade. And so it started damaging the quality of the ash tree.
No kidding.
Yeah. It's a pretty wild story. If you, I tweeted it today. And Barry Bonds actually is the guy that, at the same time this was going on.
Yeah.
I told you we're an educational program
I
here.
love this, man.
So
Keep
at
going.
the same time this is going on, Barry Bonds is hitting home runs. Yeah, he's on roids, but whatever. He's hitting home runs. And so, but he's using like a maple bat that he got turned on to by Joe Carter, I think it was.
Yes.
Right?
Okay.
And so, well, Bonds is hitting home runs at this crazy rate. Everybody's like, well, what kind of bat's he using? Maple bat. Well,
Yeah.
So maple becomes the thing, and it's a sturdier wooden bat to hit with and use. And so very few went back to the ash bat, but Joey Votto does. He likes it better, so he bought them all up, all the good ones. And he bought like 50 or 70 bats or something like that.
With the ash bat monopoly, huh?
But they got fortunate, or there would have been a major shortage in wooden bats in Major League Baseball if they hadn't found the maple bat that Bonds became so popular. They created a bunch of like manufacturers for it.
And everybody uses it.
And now everybody uses it across
besides Joey
like
Votto.
high school or summer leagues, but even in the pros.
So what's the biggest difference? It's just the feel. It's like the ash is softer.
He said something like he likes the sound of it and the feel when it hits the bat. Like he can tell when he makes better contact. But even Joey Votto, who loves it, uses he uses the maple in batting practice because he's afraid he's going to break it.
Break them, yeah. You only got so many of those
Which
to go
is
around.
weird because you're hitting one bat and then you go to the game with a whole different bat.
Yeah,
like,
which
that
is
would be
kind of
so
a
odd.
weird baseball thing, right?
Yeah, it's
it's
a
different
superstitious.
feel.
And
that's crazy.
I mean, you do what you got to do because you would break bats in batting practice for sure.
Now, Joey Votto's he's been known for an unbelievable eye at the plate, right, for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he even said he would not swing at some pitches
so he doesn't get jammed
because
up.
he thought he would break the bat.
Wow.
And so, fascinating story anyway.
Yeah.
But it always comes back to beetles
Yeah.
and an infestation. It was a species they had never heard of.
Wow.
And then they found out it was here since like the late 80s and early 90s.
Interesting.
And had been brought over from, China or on like pallets. And stuff like that. And now it's like in 35 states.
Huh.
And it's an ash tree thing.
By the way,
there you go.
I made this decision yesterday. On the 25th is the day that they're doing the Hall of Fame. You're going to find out who's getting in. We're doing our own ballots. I made the decision.
Oh, baseball.
Baseball
yeah,
players?
baseball.
Oof.
Is it always January?
Yes.
They do it?
Yeah, they announced the
Who's
people
on it this year?
Yeah, give me some names, Casey.
Well, this is the reason we're doing it. This is
it's
it
the
for
last time for
Bonds and Clemens.
Yeah.
And Schilling.
Listen, there are two things that are asinine in the world today. Two only. Pete Rose isn't in the Hall of Fame, and Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens aren't in the Hall of Fame.
That's why we're doing the ballot.
I like it.
I mean, it's
and there's some other interesting.
Do you think like Mike McGuire should be in there too and stuff, or not?
I think then you can start debating guys like McGuire, but the bottom line is
swing, yeah.
Clemens. Oh, I like the juice swing.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in it.
I'm not mad at that.
Sponsor it, Minute Maid if you want.
It's a big part of my childhood.
But I just feel
Not
like
doing
those
it.
two
I'm
guys.
saying
I'm with you.
watching
Loud
it.
and clear.
Those two guys, even before the steroid era, were probably Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
You've also
Like
got
even when Bonds' head was the right size.
Oh my goodness.
Well, serious.
Yeah, I mean, you can do sports science about it.
You've also got A-Rod first year. You've got Sosa final year. So I don't know. We'll do that on that
Sosa
day.
and McGuire are iffy for me. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
They're a little iffy for me.
Okay.
I guess we're gonna find out on the 25th.
All right. Stay tuned.
Yeah, so we do that on January 25th.
Okay, sound excited about it. Come with ideas.
Dude, I was excited. Hey,
I am excited.
I'm reliving my childhood.
Hey,
How can I be
know.
excited?
I know one person's on board.
Yeah, I got you, man.
We're ready to go. How about Antonio Brown?
Man. Wow, huh?
I mean, it's unbelievable. Where do you put the blame? I mean, it's just all Antonio Brown.
No.
There's, when people need help, it's hard to get people help if they don't want help. Like that is a real thing on a variety of levels. Honestly, I don't like to speak on an expert level here because I don't have a lot of close contacts with, that kind of stuff. I really don't, fortunately. but at least not yet in my world. And I guess they live, Antonio Brown is so out there sometimes that this has always crossed our mind, that he has some psychological problems and football may have contributed to that.
Mm-hmm.
Other things may have contributed to that. And I think as a society, we are more sensitive to that than ever before right now and should be. But I can't help but think of, like, people are talking about enablers. I'm not sure I would call it enabling, but I can't help but think that Bruce Arians didn't want this to happen. Like, he wasn't a fan of this, bringing Antonio Brown on board. And basically, Tom Brady was the one that got Antonio Brown on board. At least it's the way it's perceived from me.
Yeah.
And I feel like behind closed doors right now, Bruce Arians is like, I told you.
Yes and no. Because I feel like with Bruce Arians, I think that was his thought in the beginning with Antonio Brown. Right, this is Tom Brady's doing. This is Tom Brady's responsibility, and Bruce Arians being the guy that he is. Well, you're not going to turn down the GOAT what he wants, right? So he went and said, "Okay, Tom Brady, I'll trust you." Well, what happened? You won a Super Bowl, and on a lot of the hands of Antonio Brown.
Yeah.
So once that happened, then I think Bruce Arians' attitude changed and said, "Oh wow, this guy's got a lot left in the tank. This guy can help us win football games." Because at the end of the day, that's what it's always been about in the first place, and that's the primary issue here. I remember when I broke this whole thing down when we talked about Antonio Brown on the Raiders. I think when he was back in Oakland, and then he goes to
I wanted him here?
Yeah, that's when you wanted him here as well.
Yeah. I want him here just for this week now.
Yeah, no, for sure. Oh, yeah, just to add to the drama, see what happens?
To the circus.
I think, and here's the thing with Antonio Brown, too. You saw Ian Rappaport possibly this morning come out and say it was about, he didn't feel healthy enough to go out there. Arians wasn't having it. There's a big argument, and then, he's jumping up and down the field. How hurt was that ankle? Who knows? But the story with Antonio Brown, whether it was in Pittsburgh, whether it was in Oakland, whether it was in New England, it's always been the same thing. Antonio Brown, yes, he's got character issues. Now, whether that's caused by playing the game of football or just who he is, we may never know. But the fact of the matter is, you surround him with people who try to get the most talent out of him, and that's more important than I think his well-being sometimes. Right? You had a guy come from Pittsburgh, threw Smith-Schuster under the bus, threw Big Ben under the bus, threw the entire organization on the bus, and what does John Gruden do? Hey, I'll give you more money. I'm going to give you more money. Oh, what's that? You said we have to play by your rules? Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. Remember that whole thing?
Oh, yeah, it was an unbelievable deal.
They played by my rules. They played by his rules. They gave him more money. He goes to Oakland, freezes his feet off or whatever the case may be. Well, that's what happened. Frostbitten feet. And then remember that whole video where he was celebrating when he left
in the backyard.
Yeah.
And then he ends up in New England.
And then he goes to New England, the culture place of all cultures. And what does Bill Belichick say? Well, you know what? Yeah, the guy's obviously trouble, but you know what? He's still a great receiver, can help us win. Let's go and bring him on this team, right? And then he gets the allegations come up, and then they let him go. And we think, okay, the saga of Antonio Brown, it's finally done. Hopefully he can get some help. Hopefully some people around him can care about him, trust him, whatever the case may be, and he can go on living a healthy and clean life. Nope. Then Tom Brady goes, you know what? Out of the goodness of my heart, I'm going to put Antonio Brown in my house. I'm going to make sure he's okay, and then I'm going to go to Bruce Arians and say, you know what? This guy can help us win. Now, yeah, props to Tom Brady for doing that. What a great role model Tom Brady is. But let's be honest. I know a lot of guys out there that probably need some help right now. Tom Brady's not going to them. Do you know why? Because they're retired and can't catch a football or a Super Bowl winning touchdown. Antonio Brown could, right? So then if you're Tom Brady, go to Antonio Brown and say, hey, man, so I let left in the tank. I'm on my last leg here in Tampa Bay. Let's go out there and win some ball games. It's always come down to winning first. Right? And that's what we always talk about in the situation, where does the talent outweigh the red flags? Does the talent outweigh maybe the player's well-being? And Antonio Brown was such a great receiver that for the past, 4 or 5 years, it absolutely did. And guess what? Maybe this time, and I say maybe this time with an asterisk because who knows? Maybe he gets another shot one day, but maybe this time it's going to be to the point where it's like, okay, man, this is way too much. You have to get some help or you got to do something. But that's the world that we live in, Brent. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that's the way it is, man. Where if a player is so talented, you can overlook the red flag over here. Or you can overlook the red flag over here. Can you get us to the Super Bowl? Well, then climb aboard, man. We need you. Let's go. Yeah. And that's the way football is.
It is. It's the way it works. And by the way, they got a lot out of him that helped him get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl ring. And so helped Brady and cement his legacy. So from that standpoint, it did work. Listen, Antonio Brown might be a bad guy. He might be. But I think even all of us from afar, and I know we all love to play doctors sometimes on social media and everywhere else, there's something amiss with Antonio Brown. The problem is, and I remember discussing this a while back, I think it was around the Raiders time, is it seems like he's got a lot of yes people around him and nobody willing to say, you got a problem, man, I'm going to help you out or whatever. And maybe that's where like a guy like Brady, if he really does, can help him the most, or somebody, a teammate can help him the most. But it certainly looks like he's got bigger issues than, hey, he's just a bad guy, bad teammate kind of thing.
But this is the issue, Brent, is that he does all that stuff on the football field. And I saw him like, okay, this is, regardless of what the other side is, it does not look good for Antonio Brown. But then what happens 3 hours later? He releases a song on iTunes.
I know.
Now it's blowing up. Like, that's somebody in his corner saying, hey, man, well, you got this track right here. Maybe, I'm not saying quit, but hey, if it ever comes down to that, put the song out there right when it happens. Like, a part of me wants to feel bad for Antonio Brown, and I do feel bad. But then a part of me is like, well, look at this dude. He just parlayed what he did in New York of acting an absolute fool, and now he parlayed that into being a rapper.
Yeah.
Welcome to the American dream.
It's funny. Glenn just says this. Antonio Brown is Dennis Rodman 2.0. And if you've ever seen, like the documentary on Rodman.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if Rodman was playing in today's day. I think we would have the same feelings about Rodman. Like, man, we feel there's a sympathetic part of it.
Yeah.
Because he's got issues.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And yet there wasn't that when he was playing, so widespread. Not everybody that was talking about mental health and those things. And so instead, it's like this guy's helping the Bulls win championships.
Correct.
And he's, dating Carmen Electra or marrying Carmen Electra, and he's partying. And
coming in hungover and still dominating.
And so it becomes like this thing where it's like, hey, that's why it's very John Daly-esque. In that sense, where it becomes almost like this reality show that we're all watching, even though it's actually somebody's life, and Antonio Brown feels a little bit that way. So I think it's a pretty good comparison right now. I mean, what happened on that field yesterday is straight out of like the craziest movie you've ever. I mean, it could be a scene out of Ted Lasso, I guess. Like if something went wrong in Ted Lasso.
Finished it, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
I haven't yet, but
okay.
But I mean, seriously, like that was like surreal.
No, see, this is what I'm saying. We had never seen that before.
Like you can tell the Bucks even were like, what is going on?
No,
here?
for sure. Like, and at that moment, I was like, okay, something's like, holy cow! Like, let's wrangle this dude in because he seriously needs some help. But like I said. Then 2 hours later, he's on Instagram releasing music.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well then are you just that much ahead of the game where you know exactly what you're doing and people are telling you what to do? Where it's like you're making you capitalized off that.
Yeah.
That's what this generation's about.
Yeah.
It's moments like that.
And at the moment, it seems like he's still like in the back of a taxi somewhere in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't.
And now today, he was talking about Big Ben.
Well, he's doing a cameo for Big Ben. Some Steelers fan paid him. I don't know how much money it was. I don't know, man. I just think you got a guy right now, and I saw this on Twitter. I forgot who first of all, I saw a lot of people hitting on his music. And say what you want about it. Beat's good.
Is it pretty good?
The beat, I mean, I like Zach Miller stuff.
I didn't click on it.
I like Zach Miller stuff. He's in his country lane right now. I don't mind Antonio Brown stuff. I'll be honest with you.
So he actually had like this rap song ready to go.
Ready to go. Yeah, it's all over the place, iTunes and stuff like that. But of course, some of the older NFL. I don't want to name any names, but like this is the worst song I've ever heard in my entire.
Oh, really?
Because you listen to Jimmy Buffett. Yeah. Like don't be a 60-year-old NFL reporter saying, "Well, this I can't believe he would release this trash." Oh, really? Because are you a hip hop expert? I'm not, but I guarantee the kids are loving it. Check the numbers, man. So yeah. I mean, but I saw this on Twitter where it's like next thing's gonna be Antonio Brown fighting Jake Paul.
I saw that. Too. Yeah, somebody said, "Who was it?" Oh, it's actually Koepka said that.
Yeah.
Is he wrong?
I mean, he's not wrong. 'Cause I thought it too. The issue though, and I seriously have of it. I think something is wrong with Antonio Brown. I really do think that. But I think the environment that he finds himself in, whether it's with being a rapper or trying to box Jake Paul, like that environment's gonna prop him up, man, and it's gonna squeeze every last ounce of energy out of him until it's probably too late.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to see that happen, man. Like, I get if you're Antonio Brown, you're in the moment, you're loving life because people are, people are questioning what you're doing, but there's another group of people out there we're not seeing, Brent. The younger generation, they're probably celebrating Antonio Brown right now. See what he did on the field? Like, there's so many TikTok videos breaking it down.
Yeah.
And he's being celebrated because of it. I just don't want to see this dude get put on such a pedestal that he can't come back from it, and then he's exhausted all his energy and his resources, and he's left alone. I don't want to see that happen.
Yeah, that is the vicious cycle of our news cycle, if you will,
Yeah.
right? And the way it goes right now. I mean, but in if we did a poll, I mean, it's like watching Talladega or Daytona. It's like the big one is coming at some point. And what does that look like, and how does this end? And I mean, it doesn't probably have a positive outcome in one way or another.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that, at least right now. And yet you're right. A lot of society's almost celebrating it.
Yeah.
And putting their arms around it, which is it's a very dangerous place to be. All right, we'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I don't think this is a long conversation, but I did want to ask you about the opt-out stuff of the bowl games, especially with Matt Corral's situation. Did it get your emotions going at all? And did Kirk Herbstreit get you going at all this weekend? We'll talk about it quickly on ESPN 690.
Now is the time to get an estimate on replacement windows. American Window Products of Jacksonville is a high-volume dealer offering a huge selection of products to keep your costs low. New windows from American Window Products can lower your energy costs and increase your curb appeal and security, all without breaking the bank. Call American Window Products for a free estimate at 904-667-0873 or visit AmericanWindowProducts.com.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
The COVID-19 vaccine, there's so much news about it, but what's true and what's not? Before you pass on its protection, get all the facts. Elder Source can help with a free workshop given at your church or organization. Learn how the vaccine works, potential side effects, and where you can get a free one. Encourage your church or organization's leadership to book a free workshop by visiting myeldersource.org/COVID.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Here's to a new you in 2022. Cora Physical Therapy has opened 2 new state-of-the-art clinics in Kingsland and Brunswick. That means you have 17 clinics to choose from in the Jacksonville region. At Cora, you get access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. We do getting better, and faster. Call today for a free screening. Same-day appointments available. This new year, start to feel like the old you again. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
BC Powder knows life pushes us to the max. Work to the max. Family to the max. It can all mean pain to the max. So BC introduces new BC Max Strength. New BC Max relieves tough headaches and body pain at the speed of powder. Nothing stronger on pain without a prescription. Pain to the max? New BC Max. In a great tasting lemonade flavor.
Don't let a cold keep you up. Take NyQuil Severe for max strength relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms so you can rest tonight and get back at it tomorrow. NyQuil Severe gives you powerful relief for your worst cold and flu symptoms. NyQuil Severe temporarily relieves common cold and flu symptoms, including cough, sore throat, headache, minor aches and pains, fever, runny nose, and sneezing. NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, stuffy head, best sleep with a cold medicine. Use as directed.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead. With Fidelity Income Planning, we'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income, even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Plus, you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. Talk to us today so we can help you go from saving to living. Fidelity Brokerage Services, member NYSE SIPC.
Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for jaw-dropping deals on new and pre-owned Acura models. Get insanely low lease payments and huge financing deals on award-winning luxury sedans and SUVs. Now's the time. Shop FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jax. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Money, the amount of money, like what's the difference as a player in saying these games are meaningless when, Des, we played in quote-unquote meaningless games. I mean, I know you guys were here a lot, but I just don't understand. If you don't make it to the playoff, how is it meaningless to play football and compete? Isn't that what we do as football players? We compete. So I don't know if changing and expanding it is going to change anything. I really don't.
That was Kirk Herbstreit. Desmond Howard talking about how much the game means to today's player. Yeah. By the way, I thought the most notable thing about that like Saturday stuff was Desmond Howard had gloves on and like ear warmers and a jacket. Meanwhile, like Herbstreit was in a suit and that's it. Yeah. Like it was like the set's about 12 feet and it felt like one of them was in Utah and the other one was in California, like Southern California.
Well, you know, Des lives in Miami. He ain't used to that.
Good point.
Don't be so soft, Desmond Howard.
Say,
come on.
Did you guys watch the Rose Bowl at all?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Was there anything funnier than Herbstreit trying to keep it together when, you know, the Ohio State Buckeyes were losing for a little bit and, like, he's trying to be biased, but you can tell downright he's biased as all get out? Like, I noticed that so many times where he's like, whoa, they could come back. You know, it's just like, dude, we get it. You're an Ohio State Buckeyes fan. Yeah. That's your thing.
I'm a big believer, though, and people kind of, and I'm not saying he's an Ohio State guy, so of course he's a little biased, and he probably should be a little biased. I mean, but you probably can't get that out of you as hard as you try.
Yeah.
But I do think people, like, hear what they want to hear when it comes, because they know he's an Ohio State guy, so it's exacerbated.
Sure.
That, like, it sounds a certain way to you.
No, for sure.
Like,
no,
I think people say it about Joe Buck all the time. Like, he'll do a Cubs game, but he's a Cardinals guy. Like, he grew up being a Cardinals guy. So how can you... Like, they hear what they want to hear, you know?
No, I get it, man. I couldn't do it. That's why I don't...
It's really hard.
That's why I don't want to be like a color commentary guy in the NFL. Can you imagine me calling a Jaguar? Imagine me calling the Jaguars beating the Buffalo Bills. Oh, I would have attacked an entire fan base of the Buffalo Bills. I would have called them all bums and said they're trash. That's why I don't do it.
As a guy who played college football... 10 years ago, the world's changed names, name, image, likeness, the rest.
Yeah.
I mean, how far off was Herbstreit?
See, Herbstreit didn't get drafted, did he?
I don't think he did.
Think so.
No.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What Herbstreit's saying, it's definitely the old school way of looking at things, right? At the same time, though, I'm not going to tell any player, and I'm a guy that probably, if we're being honest here, and you're asking me if I'm a junior or a senior, and I have an opportunity to play in a bowl game, or I have an opportunity to forego that bowl game and take my first round money, I probably still would have played, right? Now, that's just me, right? Take that for what you want. But I see the other side as well.
Yeah.
Because it's the love of the game. It's all that stuff. Okay. But it's also money. And you're naive if you don't think that. Look at how much Herbstreit makes off of college football.
Absolutely.
Look at how much his universities make off their college football players, okay? So to sit here and say, well, go back out there, risk getting hurt because then you can make some money, maybe get hurt, I can't co-sign on that, Kirk Herbstreit. I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
Pay him to play in the game.
Yeah, there you go.
At least the bowl game.
That.
You should look at, there's some articles about it, or I can tell you about it off the air. What they pay, like if you how they get Herbstreit from place to place.
Oh, it's incredible.
He takes like 6 private jets a week.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that he was actually doing like College game day on Saturday, he had just called the game Friday night, like I think at the Orange Bowl.
Yes.
And he was in California. Like he probably didn't sleep all
like
night.
Santa Claus.
But it ain't cheap.
Listen,
That's
the bottom line, it's
No,
a
for
different
sure.
world today. It doesn't mean kids don't like to play, don't want to play, but there is a business side of football that did not exist. It used to be an amateur sport.
Yeah.
It's not. That's what people like Herb Street in college football are afraid to admit that. That's their problem. Like they haven't for decades been able to admit that.
But I don't get if you're Herb Street and you make your money off these players, how is that helping the situation? How are you helping the conversation if you're going to hate on them for it?
But I tweeted this, and this is a fact. He got that from coaches in the business now. That's where he even
like
said
current college coaches?
Yes,
Okay.
he referred to production meetings. That's who he's talking to, and that's the feeling of college football coaches that they don't care as much about it as they used to care about it, and that's where he's getting this info. I've been in production meeting like a decade ago when CTE and the concussion stuff was really starting to heat up, and the precautions. People are like, "Yeah, you can't play because you got a headache." Well, the old school mentality was you go play,
for sure.
but they couldn't grasp that. They're like, "What are we doing? Like, why isn't this guy playing?" Like that's what happens. That's old school, new school. And there's a lot of old school coaches out there in college football that are telling Herb Street that and believe that. And Herb Street's probably an old school guy as well. The game has changed, people. Notice it. The game has changed. We'll be back football at 5 coming up on ESPN 690.
Call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Hey, boss. Did you hear the latest about the ding-dong doorbell cameras?
Whoa. First of all, let me just say that as a crook, I'm a big fan of the ding-dong doorbell cameras.
Me too. It means no safe touch security.
Exactly. So what happened with our old buddies at Triple D?
So the ding-dong doorbell cameras rely on the internet, right? Well, the parent company just had their 3rd outage in a month.
Doesn't that make the ding-dong doorbell camera useless or something?
Not just that. All kinds of apps in people's houses went haywire, websites were down. People are fed up.
It's one thing after another with that company. Spying on customers, selling personal information, sharing people's internet. Now this?
It's a head-scratcher, boss. If folks had safe-touch security, they wouldn't have to worry about any of that.
Which is another reason we have the Crooks R Us golden rule. Stay away from safe-touch houses. Like Superman's kryptonite.
Receive free equipment and free installation with monitoring agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
The right time for the best water is right now. CGC Water Treatment wants to make sure your family's water is clean, healthy, and tastes great. CGC Water's done that for my family for a handful of years now, and it all starts with a Connecticut system. American-made and installed by the pros at CGC Water Treatment. Contact CGC Water Treatment now for your free water test. Connecticut systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Connecticut makes the world's most efficient softeners, twin-tank, non-electric systems that use less salt and water during regeneration. Right now, save up to $600 on select system packages. Financing available with approved credit. Just call CGC Water at 904-552-1242 and ask about the Conway Club, the new service program that will save you money on salt, filters, delivery, parts, and labor. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer. Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
O'Reilly
Are your wiper blades chattering, skipping, or squeaking? Don't let streaks or smearing on your windshield compromise your visibility. When it's time to replace your wiper blades, stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts and see our selection. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades while you wait. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
So you finally got your credit score up to 700. You're feeling good, about to get a new credit card with rewards. You apply and, ooh, it's not approved. And that knocks your score right out of the 700 club. There's a better way. Next time, go to Credit Karma and check out your approval odds first so you can find a card you're more likely to get approved for. And with over 100 million members, there are plenty of reviews to help you choose. Get your free credit scores and find the right card for you at Credit Karma. Approval not guaranteed, subject to checks.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
No, I wouldn't say I'm ready for the season to be over. When that comes, obviously, it's gonna be nice to take a breather and really take in everything that's happened this year. It's been a wild year, but really, I kind of want some more opportunities to finish strong. And we got a lot of guys, like I've said it before, that work really hard, deserve to win, and I'm just disappointed. That's kind of my feeling right now. I'm just disappointed the way we played today, because I know the guys in that locker room, and really just want to be better for them.
That is Trevor Lawrence, who could be better. But, Trevor, we do want the season to end, pal.
Yeah. We're all set.
Yeah, we are good. Like,
you don't even have to play on Sunday. We're good.
Why did they pick this year to go to 17 games?
I know, man. Yeah.
I mean, do we really have to play the 17th game?
I mean, don't you kind of want to see what the press box is going to be like in terms of food?
It must be nice.
Are they going to pull out all the stops?
I would hope not. Probably the way we've been hammering them lately.
All right, okay.
I don't know what the hell they're going to do for us.
There's some French toast sticks again. I'm not mad at that, though, either.
I'll be at home. I'll eat my pantry food. Yeah, I'm sure.
Maybe we can pull some strings last game of the season.
I don't think we can.
I hope we can. I had some schemes going on here for the last game of the season, Casey, and I might need you there. Just saying.
Well, here's the thing. I'm now interested. How many yards does he need, Jonathan Taylor? Because they're going to go for it.
You trying to watch history?
Because they have to win.
266.
They have to win, so why wouldn't they go for it?
But the problem is if they've got, let's just say he's got 200 yards, right? And that means they're up 31-3. Why would they play him going into the postseason? They'd sit him down.
Because
I'd pull him and not get him hurt. I thought the Patriots, by the way, were playing with fire. I understand McDaniels probably had a little something.
If he's
on his shoulder, like he was throwing the ball and running. I didn't really get that until it was happening. Why are they throwing the football still? First of all, they're running all over him. Mm-hmm. And so they didn't have to. They could have run for 250 yards, and Mac didn't even need to throw a pass in the second half.
Yeah.
Yet they stacked up his for, again, they do this narrative-wise. Mac gets 3 touchdowns in the game. Trevor's got 3 picks. Their guy comes off way better. Yeah. I believe that. And McDaniels really probably did it to watch this. You guys don't want to hire me, or you didn't pick me back in 2017? I'm about to run up 50 on you.
I'm just saying, Brent, in terms of the narrative, I get it. If you get up that much in the game, they'll probably pull Jonathan Taylor. But records are records. And the last thing I want to see is Jonathan Taylor break the record in Jacksonville, being the NFL top 100 with all the highlights of the Colts going against the Jaguars. So I'm just saying, if you don't want that to happen, Joe Cullen talking to you, and you're a big fan of the show. I hope, probably not. But if you're listening to the show, if you don't want that to happen, give me a call.
I'm just saying.
Give me a call for one game. Hey, give me a call for one game. I'll make sure Jonathan Taylor doesn't break that record. Now, this is a Wisconsin guy we're talking about too, Brent. Yeah. This is one of my kindred spirits.
I was going to say.
This is one of my brethren. But just, hey, Joe Cullen, give me a call.
If he's 66 yards away, they keep him in. 66? You're in a bad spot if you're at 150.
All it takes is one.
Yeah.
Because he has I don't even know, some huge number of 40-plus yards rushers.
Have you seen the Derrick Henry greatest hits? All it takes is one to get 99 yards.
That's true.
All it takes is one.
So now I'm intrigued. I might have to go to
By the way, Jonathan Taylor, the first quarter he had when they were up there. Then he did nothing after that, really, but the first quarter was unbelievable.
Shut it down. Or that, or it's going to be like the T.Y. Hilton show. Kind of like the swan song for him.
How many people have 2,000-yard seasons? Not that many, right?
O.J. and Derrick Henry.
Chris Johnson. So my point of the story is that's a big deal.
How many Tennessee guys are going to do this?
Well, they do have to play the Jags twice every year, so it's a pattern. I'm just saying it's a big deal. You got to try.
Yeah, I mean, I think they will try. I mean, but that's a lot. I mean, that's
if he's over $150 at half, they go for it.
I mean, even the Jags, that's a lot.
So we
273 yards last week against the Jets was the most in the NFL this year. Think about how good he's played. Think about how good Derrick Henry played early in the year, and nobody gave up more than 273 in a game. Never mind just one person. I mean, that's a ridiculous amount of yards for a running back.
So to answer the question, O.J. Simpson, Chris Johnson back in 2009. I just want to make a note that I wasn't here then.
I was before
I was
you.
here in 2010. But 2009, Chris Johnson, Terrell Davis, Derrick Henry, Barry Sanders, Jamal Lewis, Adrian Peterson, and Eric Dickerson. That's quite the.
They're going for it.
Quite the names.
He wins MVP if they get to 2K, probably.
Man,
I'm going to start. I'm going to start pulling for the Titans.
Dang it! Hey, welcome aboard.
Just so they probably won't do well.
Wait, so say it again?
I'm going to try to jinx the Titans. I'm going to start wearing gear.
Oh, Titans gear?
Yeah.
Hey, should we pull up those Super Bowl predictions, by the way?
Hey, I'm not. I knew that was coming. Hey, I'm not sure if you've been following the Tennessee Titans, but they've been able to do it without Julio Jones and Derrick Henry, Brent. So I think whatever you wear is going to have absolutely zero effect on them. Just saying.
Donta Foreman just running people.
Who's that?
Over. I have no idea. He kind of looks like Derrick Henry, though.
Is he like number 7 or something, too?
Yeah, it's single digit.
Doesn't look.
Did he play at Texas or Baylor? Texas, right?
We don't even know where he's from.
We have no idea.
No, I think he played at Texas. Or was he a Baylor guy? No, I think he's a Texas guy.
All right, so come up here. What we got?
It's going to be like.
So I think my guy Orlovsky tweeted this out. He thinks LaFleur should be the coach of the year.
Yeah.
How does Vrabel not be the coach of the year if they get the number 1 seed?
Brent could call, by the way. He went to Texas.
Texas, yeah.
Yes.
I think he wore 33 at Texas. I might be wrong on that, but
we'll check that out.
Isn't Vrabel the coach of the year? They've had 88 transactions.
Yeah.
They lost the guy who's the MVP.
33. That is incredible that you knew that.
Yeah, and they continue to win.
You Titans fan?
Big Donta Foreman guy.
Man, how do you know all this stuff?
I've been looking at New Jersey by
I got you. I mean, Brett's a closet Titans man here. No, I mean, I agree with you. I think hands down, it's got to be Vrabel.
Well, I don't know about hands down because Zach Taylor should be in the conversation.
Yeah.
And then
that's a Jalen Hurts effect, everybody.
Wrong
no,
team.
I'm sorry. That's the wrong team. I'm sorry. You're talking about the Bengals.
But
yeah,
your guy actually should, too. I said
Thank
that.
you.
Sirianni.
Sorry.
I mean, Sirianni's done a good job.
Yep.
9 wins of that crap team. I mean, that's good coaching.
Real quick, can we talk about Jalen? You see the video of the fans? Nah,
Kingsbury kind of lost there now.
We're okay. Can we talk about the poise and confidence of Jalen Hurts when those fans fell and came within an inch of breaking his ankle and he didn't even move?
I know it. Shows you
that's my quarterback
not that elusive.
right there. No, not that elusive. shows that quarterback blitz coming at him. He's going to stand in that pocket and make that throw. He ain't scared.
That's right.
Man, that's my quarterback right there, Brent.
That was crazy.
That was insane.
I
Washington,
mean, they are
do
so
better.
lucky.
Yeah.
That nobody got hurt, but but Hurts.
Yeah,
that could have really been devastating.
But to answer your question, Brent, I think it absolutely deserves to go to Vrabel because they lost their best player on their team.
Yeah,
and they still won the division. And the top seed in the AFC.
But 88 transactions, I think they've had.
But I'm saying,
that's unbelievable.
But take the best player out of any other of those teams. Take Joe Burrow away. Take Aaron Rodgers away.
Take Chase away, right?
Take Chase away too. But I mean, Burrow. Like, what's going to happen? You take Ryan Tannehill away? I guess it's going to have some kind of
take Kyler Murray away?
Well, most of the time.
They did.
Let's take the quarterback
away.
So
it's coaching. I'm so confused on how Kingsbury loses his luster. What are you talking about?
Kingsbury sucks.
Oh,
okay. Now it's personal.
You're a hater.
I just don't think he's that good a coach. I think they've got great personnel.
Yeah.
Then why did none of us pick him to go to the playoffs? They weren't expected to do this.
Yeah, they were.
Kingsbury? Wait, I had the Cardinals going to the playoffs.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Yeah, he definitely.
No, I'm a big Cardinals guy now. Yeah. Come on, Casey. Come on now, Casey.
Kingsbury and I are rival outdoor fireplace guys. So
I think you're a little jealous. I think you're a little jealous of that.
You didn't pick him to win the division? What is that?
No. Because I think I had the Rams, if I'm not mistaken.
You did.
And how was that paying off
and
for
Brent
me?
picked Seattle. He's no good at it. But the point of the story is I don't know how you can dismiss Kingsbury.
51 points yesterday.
What'd you say?
51 points yesterday.
Listen,
if Russell Wilson didn't hurt his hand, they would have got in.
Yeah, that's right. You think Russell's going to be there next year, or is he gone?
No, he's gone.
He's gone?
Definitely. I think he's gone not because of his unhappiness as much as I think they're just resetting.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of places to go.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that was as loud as it got last year. but I think it helped set the table for this. And I'm not convinced like Pete Carroll's going to be there. I wonder if they just totally hit the reset button. I could see that happen, like he just retires or something.
Yeah.
Does he want to do that again? Does he want to go through another? He's had a great run.
End of an era, if that's the case.
So it could be. I don't know. I feel like Russell Wilson will be gone, though, just because of I think they could get a lot and help them reset their world, because they're not going it. They're just not good enough football team.
But it also makes you wonder, too, if he's going to go to a spot that's in need of a new head coach, because then that could be an attraction to a head coach getting interviewed saying, well, you're getting Russell Wilson, let's go. Or Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
We'll see. But
I mean, you could pick a lot of places for Russell Wilson to go if they could give up the capital to get him, one of the things, hey, Zach Taylor, I think he has done a good job. I'll say this about Zach Taylor. I thought, you guys think I hate on Kingsbury and the Titans. I thought they should have let him go last year. I was like, I think it's pretty obvious this guy's not going to win enough games. And then they turned it into this. It took like a third year to click, and obviously a second year of Burrow. And now we're seeing the second-year guys like Herbert and Burrow really take off, which maybe could be a good sign for the guys around here, and Trevor Lawrence. But Zach Taylor has done an amazing job. And surprisingly, but what the hell was he doing yesterday at the end of the game?
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah.
Like, did you see it?
Yeah, I got more Cliff Kingsbury stuff, so I'm just waiting my turn.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
They're supposed to win 8.5 games, all the lines, 8.5. They're going to win 12. Like, how can you say he's not into Coach of the Year,
Casey, I had
top
the over.
3?
I had the over. That was
You're a smart man. I just don't.
That was the bet of the show.
I just don't get it how he's being dismissed.
I think they should.
Their best player's hurt.
Hopkins is
their
out.
best player, their other best player was hurt. Their real best player.
Well, they've limped to the finish line.
I mean,
I think Sirianni's done a better job. I think Zach Taylor's done a better job. I think definitely Variable's done a better job.
Okay.
And LaFleur is pretty good now. I mean, you can't just say Aaron Rodgers. I saw some stat said, but the 3 years before LaFleur got there with Aaron Rodgers, they were like 25-24 or something, and LaFleur's like 39-9. So he's definitely made a difference.
Yeah.
And he might win it because it's just the easiest way to do is give it to like the best team, and they locked up the number 1 seed and home field advantage early and all that stuff. But I just think some of the I mean, listen, Vrabel has done an unbelievable job coaching.
Absolutely.
And I think Zach Taylor surprised me, so that's why I put him in the conversation. And I think Sirianni really surprised me. I really just don't think Philly's roster is 9 wins good, maybe even a 10th win good.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know you didn't.
No.
You made it abundantly clear when you bet me that the Jaguars are going to have more wins than the Eagles this year.
I know.
Imagine. Couldn't have been me that made that bet. Couldn't have been me.
But at least they didn't play Minshew, and that didn't go up to a 5th-round pick.
That's a good point.
So at least I win that part of it.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
But seriously, what the hell was Zach Taylor thinking? I don't get the thing. Did I miss something in that? Why did he go for it on 4th down? Now, he got bailed out because of the penalty.
I was watching, by the way.
I think the thought was that they kick a field goal, they get it. It's too much time for Patrick Mahomes to go back down there and beat you. I think that was the theory.
We're playing that scared? Like, it was 40 seconds
Patrick
to go.
Mahomes. I know. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. That's what I think.
Would you think that way as a coach? Like, instead of taking a 3-point lead, see, the way I would think is the worst thing they come down is kick a field goal. We're not going to give up a touchdown in 40 seconds.
How much time? 40 seconds
I think
left?
it was like 40-something seconds, like 46.
Okay, so if there's 40 seconds left, then yeah, I'm kicking a field goal. If there was like a minute and 30, a minute and 40 left,
yeah, okay,
I would seriously consider going for it then.
But even then, it's probably enough time for them to go all the way down the field anyway with a minute 40.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I'd probably go,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'd probably go for the touchdown then. Yeah.
I just
Because what's going to happen? Here's my line of thinking. Minute 40 left on the clock. You're at what? What were they at? The 3?
It was like the 2.
Yeah, okay, the 2 we'll call it. Weather. What was the weather? It was fine. Okay. Cincinnati, it could be a little cold, a little chilly.
It can be.
You can see your breath. But I think that, so you try to go for it. You get the 7 points. If you miss it, you had a $1:40 left on the clock at the 2-yard line for Patrick Mahomes to try to beat you. Like, I'm okay with that.
It was 40, not $1:40.
No, but I'm saying if there was a $1:40. I'm saying if there was. No, if there's 40 seconds.
But there was like 40 seconds to go. Like, I'm trying to grasp the other side of like what he's saying. And I understand.
You're scared of Patrick Mahomes. That was the other side.
Yeah, he's totally scared of Patrick Mahomes. And actually, by that time, they had done a halfway decent job on Kansas City's offense. They got off to a slow start, but their defense had done an okay job. Their defense is pretty good. Like, it's not great, but it's pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you should be that afraid of a player in the NFL that you don't take a 3-point lead when you have a chance to win the division with 40 seconds to go in the game. Like, I mean, I thought it was an asinine call. Like,
yeah. I'm not saying that was the reason, Brent. That's the only reason I can think of why they did that.
That's the only reason I can think of. Yeah. I just didn't know if somebody else saw a better explanation.
Do you think Jamar Chase or Mac Jones Rookie of the Year?
Jamar Chase.
Yeah?
Mac Jones, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I like that.
Jamar Chase just had.
I mean, it was a good game.
Jamar Chase, because of that performance.
Good game. Huh?
Is
Mac Jones did pretty good, too.
Yeah, we played JV.
Well, hey, no one's looking at who you play now. It's the stats.
They should.
It's the stats.
And,
okay.
And I mean, that was like Bowles going to play, whoever.
Mac Jones plays quarterback, though, right?
It doesn't matter.
There it is, right?
But here's the thing. The momentum for Chase at the early part of the year was he was on fire. Then he kind of dipped down a little bit. But even in that dip down time, Mac Jones threw 3 passes against the Bills. He had a couple of games where he threw 2 interceptions, threw for like 125 yards. They went through a little bit of a lull. Lost 2.
Yeah.
Lost 2
Lost 2 of those, yeah.
And now Chase puts an exclamation point on the season like this. I think it's no doubt that he's going to
20 for 30, 3 touchdowns.
You guys better hope it's Jamar Chase because you guys picked Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I picked Mac Jones.
It's not going to be Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I'm glad we figured that out.
Yeah.
20 for 30, 3 touchdowns. He
Mac
picked
Jones.
Mac Jones.
Oh, no. So I wonder why you're saying this.
Well,
you're just trying to be right.
Well, you got to be right. It's part of the show, Brent.
What do you mean I'm just trying to be right? I'm backing up the pick I made preseason that I knew was right.
It's not part of the show.
All right, go tell me who the betting favorite right now is to win the Rookie of the Year.
Okay, I'll work on that.
I bet
you don't have to. It's Jamar Chase.
Is it really?
Yes.
Sure? Is that? I got to check my.
Cite your sources.
Yes, cite your
Jamar
sources.
Chase. Go ahead and look it up. Let's
not two-handed Tommy at the docks. Who's got these? Not like two-handed Tommy, two-finger Tommy at the docks. Who are the sources, Brent?
Go look it up.
Okay, all right.
Go look it up, and we'll ask Captain Rick if he saw two-finger Tommy
Two-finger
at the
Tommy.
dock
There
right
we
now.
go.
It's Florida Sportsman Fishing Report. I don't know who Tommy is, but Captain Rick, Happy New Year. Hope you had good holidays.
Happy New Year to you. And yes, he has 2 fingers, and we call him Lucky. Okay. That's what, hey, Brent.
What you got?
I'm gonna take the other side of that argument for just a second. When Tom Brady took over for the game-winning drive last night, did anybody in the stadium not think he was going to pull it off?
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Yeah.
I mean, there's some situations that you just can't let happen. Now, I'm with you. I'd have kicked the field goal, but I'd have known that Patrick Mahomes was coming downfield whether I wanted him to or not.
Yeah, probably 3 guys in the league: Aaron Rodgers, Brady, and maybe Mahomes.
Yeah,
that you'd be afraid
that's exactly right. And don't forget your Rookie of the Year, Trevor Lawrence. Don't forget him.
Shots fired.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
10-win season coming next year
too.
I just couldn't let that go by. Hey, I tell you what, it started out as a great weekend for fishing. Captain Robert Johnson was on the bridge of the Jody Lynn 2 on Friday. He 21 tuna. He had a couple of mahi. He had a couple of nice wahoo. Just a gorgeous catch of fish. Bottom fishing was extremely good. The mutton snapper bit well. The vermilions bit well. The triggerfish bit well. And we figured the reason all the fish bit so well was because they knew this massive front was not far behind. And I can promise you, you wouldn't want to be one of the commercial boats that's out on the ocean today. That wind came howling in about 6 o'clock this morning, and it was evil. Now, before it started blowing on Saturday, the red fishing was good. It wasn't exceptional. Captain David Borey said it was much better on Friday. He and most of the other guys that we talked to said that for some reason, on the day that it usually gets better, the day before major front comes in, it actually got a little bit slower on Friday. But it blew today. It's going to blow less tomorrow, even less on Wednesday, and I'm planning on being on the tuna at daylight Thursday morning. So we'll see how that goes. But one thing you can count on, we'll be back tomorrow and every day with another fishing report brought to you by CSS Landscaping and Workman's Quick Fix Plumbing. Thank you, boys.
Thanks.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you too, Captain Rick. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. What you got?
So Casey, hate to break it to you, man.
Hey, listen. You want to make a lot of money? Plus 175 right now, Mac Jones.
So you're seeing it as well. I'm seeing it. According to VegasInsider.com right now, Jamar Chase minus 225.
225.
Mac Jones plus 175.
Imagine getting plus 175 odds on a quarterback on a team last year that won like 5 games.
Micah Parsons minus 10,000 for Defensive Player of the Year, by the way.
Minus 10,000.
Wait, Rookie of the Year or Player of the Year?
I'm sorry, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, my NFL
Why would
Defensive
they
Rookie
even have
of the Year.
a bet on that? I'm surprised.
I don't know. Well, because you got Patrick Surtain coming in with plus 900.
Because what if on the off chance he doesn't win?
What, he
Think about
has-
how much money you make if you're Vegas.
Ugh,
I know, but it's like impossible.
I don't think
Or if
that's gonna
Surtain has
Like he'd
5
have to get
interceptions.
he'd have to get arrested.
So, for sure.
Like seriously.
Some
It's
bad
the
tweets
NFL,
gotta
he'd
come
probably
out.
still be all right.
Some bad tweets gotta come out. Real quick though, last wide receiver to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. Any guesses, guys? If Jamar Chase does indeed win this year.
Was I alive?
Oh yeah, you're alive. Back in 2014.
Oh, I was definitely alive.
2014.
Last wide receiver to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Oof. I'm never gonna get
Antonio Brown. No, I'm just kidding.
Nope. Not a bad guess though.
Yeah, that is a pretty
Not
good
a bad guess.
I don't know. Amari Cooper.
Not a bad guess either. Odell Beckham Jr.
Wow.
New York Giants. You thinking that?
I literally was going to say it, but I was
Yeah.
like, I thought 2014 was too old.
Why didn't Blake Bortles get it that year?
Because he didn't have a one-handed catch on Monday Night Football. Sorry, Blake.
Anyway, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Here's the problem: what hurts the Patriots. See, this is like a kind of you get this feel, right? There's this buzz about Chase and the Bengals right now. That's new. It's fresh.
Yep.
The problem that hurts Mac and the Patriots is like it's the same thing. Like Bill Belichick could get Coach of the Year every year, but he never gets it.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, it's just the Patriots. They win.
Sure.
Right? And so that's what people say about Mac. If you listen to all the people around the country, they're not raving about Mac Jones' play. They're just saying, he's done a good job, but
Cam
the Patriots
couldn't do
are
it.
the Patriots.
Yeah, but Cam couldn't do it.
I know. Listen, I'm not saying it's right.
Okay.
I'm just telling you, like, there's not this wave of, holy cow, Mac Jones is playing unbelievable football this year.
You should tell the people investing in sports cards. Oh.
Really? It's hot?
Yes, for Mac Jones.
Right now?
I mean, Jamar Chase is whatever. I got Jamar Chase cards that aren't going anywhere. Mac Jones cards, though, they're hot. I'll tell you what.
How about Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, dude, can't even give them away.
Buy low, sell high?
Can't even give him away.
I actually am buying low on Trevor Lawrence.
We were kind of off on that, huh? On that prediction.
Yeah, it was a reasonable prediction.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you really went out on a limb there. Number one overall pick.
Chalky McChalk, yeah. I just don't like losing, man. I don't like losing bets.
I don't either. But it happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
Going back, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, becoming sunny and windy with much cooler temperatures. Highs today will be mainly in the mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
If you're like me, you come home from work and walk through a messy garage hurdling shoes and bats and bikes. Well, get the easy garage solution that I got. It's called Easy Garage Solutions. One-of-a-kind monkey bar technology that will last a lifetime. Hang the bikes and the lawn equipment. Easy Garage Solutions. Shelving and overhead storage for boxes and bins. Easy Garage Solutions. Cabinets and flooring available too. Easy Garage Solutions. Find them at easygaragesolutions.com. Easy Garage Solutions. It's that easy.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7 with supplies and solutions for every industry and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Tobacco-Free Florida has many free ways to help you quit nicotine. From free 2-week starter kits of quit aids to free cessation services like Phone Quit and Group Quit. We're even trying out new motivational tactics.
You're the greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter. He's tobacco's greatest quitter of all.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Did you know that you have the power to positively impact a local child's life? It's as easy as donating to Daniel, Florida's oldest child service agency. Daniel provides counseling to abused children. Daniel helps homeless teens find shelter and learn to live independently. Daniel connects kids with foster families and strengthens at-risk families so they can stay together. They've done all this and more for 135 years. Please become a part of improving the lives of local children and families by donating at danielkids.org today.
Along with Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner, Kevin Harlan here from Monday Night Football on Westwood One. And a preview of the final Monday game of the regular season with the Browns at the Steelers. Kurt, it's a big game as both still have a shot at the playoffs. And if retirement rumors prove true, this could be Ben Roethlisberger's final game at home in Pittsburgh.
Well, Kevin, if that's the truth, I'm glad we're here. What an incredible career it has been for Ben Roethlisberger, and a lot still to play for this season. But as you know, I got to see some of that greatness up close and personal in Super Bowl 43, and it's just been a storied career in what he's done here at Heinz Field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's hope it's not his last home game, but still a lot to play for him and his team.
Browns at the Steelers coming up on Monday Night Football.
Get ready for the game with more details and preview at WestwoodOneSports.com. And remember to listen for the NFL right here all season long.
Aristotle once said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. Plato once remarked, the measure of a man is what he does with power. And someone at Hulu said, hey, did you know that Hulu Plus Live TV's got over 75 live channels? You can watch your favorite live sports, live news, live reality shows, and more. Plus tons of shows and movies on demand, too. It's time to have Hulu Plus Live TV. Live TV plan required. Restrictions apply. Learn more at Hulu.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The NFL is on. Key, Jay, and now Max Kellerman.
Here's a guy that you drafted in the first round that you think could potentially be the successor to Aaron Rodgers in the future, but could he at least be a damn backup?
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
You know, it depends. Today, obviously, like I said, it's not a good feeling being in that locker room after a game like that. But just Coach Bev talked to us for a second, and at that point, we, like I said, there was positive. We kept fighting, finishing offense. But other than that, there's not many positives. You got to just move on. You got to have. I'm learning. You got to have a short memory in this league, and Sunday's coming quick. The next one.
That is Trevor Lawrence. Sunday can't come quick enough. Monday can't come quicker. Get it over with. Jacksonville Jaguars play the Indianapolis Colts. It is bizarre. They've won 6 times at home. Now, one of them was a London game, but they've actually crushed the Colts in that stretch. And the Colts haven't been, disgustingly bad in that stretch. They weren't 1-15, 2-14 type of team. And I did them yesterday. They beat them 82-93 with the combined score. Just nuts.
Yeah.
And they won the only game last year with Gardner Minshew to start the year. They won a late game the year prior. I think it was the last game of the year. I couldn't even find a way for the Jags to get a win this week, even if the Colts wanted to screw it up. Like, I could see the Colts trying to screw it up because Carson Wentz is doing some weird things sometimes with the football. And, the Colts, those trends are trends for a reason. For some reason, they don't do well down here. I don't know why. And the Jags have always matched up well with the Colts. Even when Manning, those were close games. They just have always played well against the Colts, even when they're bad. But I cannot find a path to victory for the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday. And quite frankly, I don't even want to spend any energy trying to.
Yeah. I appreciate the effort, Brent.
What if the whole offense doesn't come?
Of the Colts?
Yes. Well, I know the Jags isn't coming, but
that's it. So
I'm talking like Sam Ehlinger and the boys.
Find some practice. Find some practice squatters to get 14 points and you win.
Like bad COVID outbreak. Taylor gets it. Pittman gets it. Hilton gets it.
Like, listen, the way they turn the football, get turnovers on defense, I might put the Jags offense on the field the entire time and take the Colts defense to win the game.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
They'd eventually score 3 times.
You have a team coming off of a big loss, a team that is obviously still in playoff contention. Yeah, you're going to get the best Indianapolis Colts that you're going to get. It's hard to imagine a victory.
And that offensive line isn't dominant, but the offensive line's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Jags have been pushed over the last couple of weeks by lesser offensive lines than that, I think.
Yeah.
You'd say.
And also Sam Ehlinger and the boys sounds like a very I'm interested in that country album. Like it sounds like a country music.
I heard it after I said it.
It's Sam Ehlinger and the boys. Live at
is
Folsom.
very good.
Yeah. I'd listen to that.
I got one for you. You might not want to admit this, but the Giants might be worse than the Jags.
Nope.
At the quarterback position?
They definitely are at the quarterback position. I mean, the Giants, did you see that yesterday? Like, they weren't, I don't know what he finished with. What did Glennon finish with? He had 2 pass attempts. They had run 28 plays, and he had 2. They weren't even trying to win the game.
No, I mean, that was definitely embarrassing.
Like, if they had the number 1 overall pick, I would say they were trying to tank.
4 for 11.
So he ends up 4 for 11. They threw it a lot in the second half, I guess.
24 yards, 2 interceptions.
I think, actually, and nobody will believe this, and I'm not sure I believe it myself, but there's a chance the Giants are worse than the Jags. Right now. Like, right now. Not all year, but right now.
Nope.
I don't know, Brent.
I mean, they are really bad.
Yeah, but they've won 4 games.
No, they beat the Saints in New Orleans.
Well, I said all year. I'm
I'm
not trying to make
right now
I'm
where
saying
they are?
right now. As bad as the Jags are right now, the Giants might be playing worse.
Yeah.
Well, they did score 21 on December 12th, so you'd lose that one. But then they've scored 6, 10, and 3. So they might tie.
A real 6-6 nail biter?
Yeah.
We've seen those.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's probably comparable, but
how do you get this bad in the NFL?
Did you see Joe Judge's comments too?
I know.
That was kind of weird, right?
He's an interesting kid.
But you think he's talking to players 2 times a week about them wanting to come back to New York? I don't think so either.
By the way, like, hey, Joe, they're lying to you. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, even if they're saying that, they're lying to you, Joe. They just want you to play them and stuff. Like, you don't want to be a part of this mess.
But he was even saying, like, the old players on different teams making more money. Or I think, hey, I get nothing but respect for the Jaguars. But when I was out here in Kansas City, I wasn't calling Joe Collins saying, "Can I come back?" I mean, I was like,
does that?
Hey, I mean, barbecue with Andy Reid. We're all good.
Who does
good
that?
luck. No, nobody does.
Now, Jihad Ward might have done that. Said, "I wish I was back in Baltimore."
Yeah,
you know, Marvin Jones might have said, "I wish I was in Detroit."
Oh, Brent, don't say that now. Don't say that, man. Come on. It's wintertime there. You don't want to be back there.
At least with the Giants, like, they've been horrible since Daniel Jones got hurt. Like, they at least have something to point to.
Yeah.
The Jags have nothing to point to. We've been horrible since ever.
Let's not put Jones on that big of a pedestal.
No, but they scored 21 points with him and 6 without him.
I know. I mean, Derrick Henry got lost to the Tennessee Titans. They found a way. The Giants lose their running back in Daniel Jones. They can't replace him. I get it.
Listen, I asked you this question because you played in the league.
Yes.
How do you get this bad? Like, how are you? We've covered a lot of bad, but how's the gap this wide? That's an okay to good Patriots team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's not like, fortunately, the Jags didn't have to play like the Kansas City Chiefs or the Bills like now or, like at timing wise.
Yeah.
But I just don't understand how you get that bad. And Chicago to New York yesterday was like that. Like, how can you be that bad in the NFL? Like, there was a time frame in this season were actually like the Jags had lost to the Colts and they had beaten the Bills and they got crushed by Seattle. They had beaten Miami. So that little stretch in there where I was like, I'm starting to think that the gap between teams looks a lot more than it is. Well, now as we head to the end of the year, I'm like, holy cow, the gap. How does a gap get so wide?
Yeah, I don't want to say it's insurmountable, but like it's ridiculous because we brought up the New York Jets. Like if you would have told me to start the season and we go roster to roster, I would have taken the Jaguars roster 10 times out of 10 over the Jets roster.
Absolutely.
And coaching everything. I would have been, I'm good with the Jaguars. Well, the Jets have won 4 games, right? Zach Wilson, we'll see. Jury's still out. But at the end of the day, they're playing in competitive games. They just went to the limit with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Lost by 7 to the Miami Dolphins, right? Like they've been in competitive games. Houston Texans, a franchise that I've made so much fun of and I'm still apologizing for. Just a couple weeks ago, beat the Los Angeles Chargers, 41-29. Curb stomping, by the way, to Los Angeles, who are competing for a playoff spot. So you've seen these bad, quote unquote bad teams. Yeah, they're bad. They don't have the rosters, maybe the coach, whatever the case may be, but they're still competitive in some games, right? That's the parity coming through. That's the parity leaking through of the NFL. How many times have we said in a Jaguars game this year, well, it was a bad one, but it was competitive a little bit? Not too many times. And that's the issue. That should answer your question right there. In terms of where this franchise is at, compared to even teams like the Texans and teams like, the Jets, it's night and day. And then that's crazy to say, right?
Listen, the Lions, the Lions are bad, but they would beat the Jags. They would beat the Jags. They really would. Like, I wouldn't have said that maybe a couple weeks ago, but I am now saying, like, they would.
Yeah.
I honestly think, like, the Giants and the Jags are the worst teams right now currently playing. Like, they really are bad. But because they can't score. Like, the Lions can score. The Lions, what do they have? Like 29? I know it was a lot of garbage time, but, like, it doesn't matter if it's garbage time. Jags can't score 29 points. They can't. The Lions have done that several times. And they're just playing harder. Like, I actually look at the Texans. I still believe the Texans did something that we didn't see coming. Their roster is terrible, but they have veteran players and enough that know what to do and how the league works and blah, blah, blah. And they've also coached pretty good job. I think they've done a pretty good job coaching to put Davis Mills in a better situation than probably Trevor Lawrence is. Who would have thought that – you want to say who would have thought? Who would have thought Davis Mills would be – kind of nurtured and grow more in Houston this year in that situation than Trevor Lawrence would be nurtured and grow and develop in this situation. Nobody would have signed up for that. Nobody. But it's actually a fact. Like, it has happened. Davis Mills is way better than anybody thought he'd be in playing for Houston. Then Trevor Lawrence is where he is right now. And the situation has been toxic at times here. And it really hasn't been in Houston, at least from a public perception standpoint.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Jets are exactly who I thought the Jags should be, maybe with one more win or 2 more wins. By this time of the year, playing better football, figuring it out a little bit more, still playing hard, trying to get to like a 6th win, perhaps, playing teams tough. And the Jags are not, which, by the way, I think that speaks to Saleh a little bit.
Well, it absolutely does. Like, I don't think Jets fans had this in their head. We're going to the playoffs this year. But, like, if you're a Jets fan, at least it's Robert Saleh saying, hey, you know what? Our coach is all over. Like, his identity is all over this team. We're a hard-nosed team who fights to the end, and we're going to be in competitive ball games. Just wait till we get the players in the roster to match that intensity from Robert Saleh. Then wait and see what happens. You know what that's called? It's called hope. That's what they have right now in New York.
That's it. They do have a little bit of hope, and Zach Wilson's not, like, lighting it up.
Yeah.
But he's playing better. There's a sign or two. I mean, Braxton Berrios is playing. It's like a fun little weapon now that they have.
Yeah.
Like,
Michael Carter.
I mean, seriously, we got to go to Walker Little to find, like, a decent story right now. Tyson Campbell didn't really play that well yesterday.
No.
It didn't look like.
No, man. I mean, I'm to the point now where it's like, hey, hopefully it's French toast sticks this weekend again. That's where I'm at. That's where my level of hope is as far as this franchise is concerned.
I did ask this question yesterday, and it got a lot of attention because of the Baalke stuff, and everybody's on the fire Baalke, mode.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are on this roster next year that are playing in that game yesterday? is a question that does feel a little bit like a 2013 kind of question. Like that's an organization going backwards, like almost revamping. And it shouldn't be. They should be a little bit ahead of the game right now with some of the draft picks they've been able to collect in the last couple of years, some of the money spent, and now getting a franchise quarterback. And they're actually going backwards. Like that is just real. That's like you can't sugarcoat it. I wonder how many, if Doug Peterson is the head coach next year or Jim Caldwell, how many of the people that played in that game yesterday would be on the roster?
The over-under is 15.
Well, it's not like people jokingly say like 52 of them. It's not that. It's
can't be because you can't have
you can't fix everybody. But it's you can make the case that a good amount of players would not be here next year. And some that even have some decent deals. Like then have done some things in the league. No. You wonder if they move forward. I mean, are they going to move forward with Myles Jack? Are they moving forward with Marvin Jones?
For debate. I think that's definitely open for debate too.
Are they moving forward with Norwell or Linder?
I mean, honestly, I think really obviously Trevor's safe. I think James Robinson is safe depending on the injury.
Oh, it's very
Josh
cheap too,
Allen.
Josh Allen will go into his last year.
Yeah, and then obviously, guys like Tyson Campbell who are rookies.
Yeah, the rookie class is obviously pretty safe. And they signed Shaq Griffin. I would think he's going to be here.
Jenkins.
He
didn't play yesterday.
Is interesting, man. I mean, I thought Jenkins was a major disappointment, like to the point where you could argue he was stealing money at times from this.
That's my point. But you just said Shaq. They just signed him. Well, they just signed Jenkins too.
Well, but the thing about it is, and while I would say yes, he's probably here for at least another year until whatever that deal you can get out of it. I would say Shaq Griffin played well enough to be here and play. Like Rayshon Jenkins might be here, but I'm not sure they're relying on him. Like if they get a chance to draft somebody or they can play a better safety or find a safety, like I think they see upgradability there.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure. Like my point being, they see some good things out of Tyson Campbell. Probably saw enough out of Shaq Griffin this year to say, we're not going to go get J.C. Jackson in free agency. We got the money to do it, but are we going to do it? I don't think they're going to go that route because they like what they saw from Shaq Griffin for the most part. That's my point. Like if he played Rayshon Jenkins' position, I think they might think about it.
Correct.
I think they should get J.C. Jackson anyway, if that's an option.
I like J.C. Jackson.
I think he catches everything.
He does. I mean, I thought
he can play receiver both ways.
Well, I tweeted it yesterday. He had the best hands out of any receiver the Jags had.
There it is.
And he's been a turnover machine. I think he is.
He's up, yeah.
He's up, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like what the Patriots do is they kind of let a guy like that go and like, hey, we got a lot out of him. Mm-hmm. We'll go find the next one.
Yeah.
And
Malcolm Butler.
He'll probably get like an A.J. Boye type deal, Should get big bucks, I would think. J.C. Jackson will. So anyway, I mean, they might have no linebackers next year.
Yeah.
Like they might have to go get some linebacker. I mean, Shaq Quarterman might be here. I'm not sure if they see him as a starter, but I'm not convinced Myles Jack's going to be here. I know his contract says he probably could be, but they also can get – I haven't looked at his contract recently. I'm just not convinced Myles is going to be here.
Can't really afford to get rid of everybody, right?
Well, I thought he had a rough game yesterday too, though.
Yeah, I just don't know what Myles has done. Like, I can't remember one play Myles made this year. Now, I looked him up today. He had like 100 and something tackles, but I don't remember one play he's made. Now, he's no longer like the highest paid linebacker in the league, but – maybe he doesn't fit in the scheme is my point. So you trade him away for another 6th-round pick. We love those.
Send him to New England or something, yeah.
But, I mean, you do an evaluation of this roster, and how the hell Trent Baalke's even in the mix to be here, and that's a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't care if he was getting coffee for Urban Meyer.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you look at this roster if you're Shad Khan and say, oh, yeah, we feel pretty good about this. Trent Baalke did a good job. Yeah. I mean, what the hell? We'll be back. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Greenberg is Greeny.
Did anyone watch football last year and think, you know what, I think there's just too much taunting going on? These guys seem to be too excited when they make big plays, and every now and again, it seems to be in the face of their opponent. This does not have any impact on the competition of the game until you choose to make it so. And what I'm suggesting is don't choose that. Don't choose that.
Greeny with Mike Greenberg, weekday mornings at 10 Eastern on ESPN Radio. and watch exclusively on ESPN+.
Voted best gift of the year for golfers by the ESPN 690 Golf Enthusiast Review Board. Want to make the golfer in your life love you even more? Order the 2022 ESPN Dream 18 card for just $69. Big discounts on golf all year. Golf courses are raising their rates with the recent boom. The Dream 18 card has even more value now. For less than dinner for two at your favorite upscale restaurant, you will receive tremendously discounted rounds at some of the area's best golf courses. Golf Club at Southampton, St. John's Golf and Country Club, Hidden Hills, Osprey Cove, the Yards added this year, Amelia River Golf Club, Eagle Landing, Fleming Island Golf Club, and Queens Harbor Yacht and Country Club. Plus, you'll receive a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats, a free shirt at Baker's Sports, and a discount on a purchase at Palm Beach Autographs. Play 2 rounds of golf, and the card pays for itself. $69, that's it. Some of the proceeds go to the Dream 18 charity as well. Buy the card at Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com. Supplies are limited. Go to Action Sports Jax, Dream18.com.
An essential part of starting and running a business is managing cash flow. This involves not just generating sales revenue, but also securing financing, handling expenses, and ensuring there is working capital in order to reinvest. At SCORE, we offer advice and can direct you to resources to help address these issues. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. We provide free one-on-one mentoring, a library of online information, and a series of timely webinars. Go to jacksonville.score.org to see how we can assist you today.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors with roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis. Your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations.
You almost missed it. It's the final days to get Toyotathon savings even on used. Jeeps, Chevys, Fords, Hondas, Toyotas. You'll find all makes and models at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. That's 300 used available. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Don't wait. It's the final days of Toyotathon even on used at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
This is important news. If you have unfiled tax returns, the IRS is shifting gears and ramping up investigations on non-filers this year. If you fail to file your tax returns for a year or more, or you owe back taxes, now's the time to call Optima Tax Relief before the IRS finds you. Optima is America's #1 most trusted tax resolution firm, specialized in helping individuals, families, and businesses get right with the IRS. They're experts in the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, a powerful new program that can make resolving tax issues easier. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, Optima's award-winning team has helped thousands of people protect their paychecks, bank accounts, homes, and businesses by putting their tax problems to rest, resolving over $1 billion in tax debts for their clients. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188. 800-364-9188.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
In college football, Goodyear knows a new season means new possibilities, where every Saturday is an opportunity on the road to greatness. No matter if you're out there playing your hardest or cheering the loudest from the sidelines, tailgating in the parking lot, or your favorite spot to watch the game, Goodyear knows passion is what drives us forward all the way to the playoffs. That's the road that moves us. Goodyear, more driven.
Cutting the price of your wireless bill feels good, really good. Actually, it feels great. You should try it out. So cut your bill by switching to Straight Talk Wireless, now offering our $45 Silver Unlimited plan with 5 gigabytes of hotspot and nationwide 5G on America's largest, most dependable networks. The $45 Silver Unlimited plan from Straight Talk. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise.
A month equals 30 days. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
You know, I really don't think so. Just the makeup that he has. I'm really impressed with him. As I've told you many times, I'm just impressed with the poise that he has, and the responsibility that he's willing to take for the things that he needs to take responsibilities for. And he's learning from all of these. As long as he continues to take those as learning moments and improves from them, gets better. I don't think that these are deep scars. I mean, he hasn't gotten beat up or pounded in the games. With that kind of stuff. So he's been able to handle the situation as they come.
That's Daryl Bevell. I think that's an important part of this. And I think he has a good point there. I don't feel like, Bortles and even Gabbert got beat up physically.
Yeah.
In their first years. This guy's a better player anyway, naturally, than them. But he hasn't been physically, just battered, in the pocket. He's been beat up a couple of games where he's more sore than others.
Yeah.
But again, that's where I think he probably has elevated something. He's avoided that. He's got 31 sacks, I think the Jags have allowed. That's not awful by any means. So but the rest of it, the scar tissue, the lack of growth and development, the having to deal with the other stuff, I think we won't know the answer to that until down the road when he plays again. How much development is you like to say year 1 to year 2? Well, he's going to have, let's hope it's a big, big gap, of development that he makes. Big jump. He's done some good things this year, but just not enough. And maybe he can do that coming up next year. Let's leave everybody with this. Because somebody just tweeted us and said, listen, you guys are kind of prisoners of the moment. And that does happen. Some recency bias there. I get it.
But then he also said the Jaguars are the worst organization in the NFL. Okay.
Yeah, so he kind of agreed.
The end.
Yeah.
Well, that's all you got to know.
I mean, listen.
What else does it say?
Yeah, and I guess I would just tell you that my track record is not to be a prisoner of the moment. Like you can maybe on a Sunday and even into a Monday and kind of everything going on, and then you get a little more sense about it and perspective on it by the end of the week or the middle of the week, or maybe it takes till February right now. I can get there. And I usually get there pretty quick. Mm-hmm. I'm just telling you right now, there's nothing. I've been asking this question for 6 weeks. Give me something to hang on to.
Yeah.
And that's how I started the show today. And right now, there really isn't. There really isn't. I'll hang on to Trevor. I've got faith that Trevor's a pretty good player. But the best argument I can make about Trevor Lawrence, if I'm being sincere, is the fact that I don't think he's a bust. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen bust in him. Bust to me is like guy throwing picks and looks scared and can't manage an offense, and it's 3-4 games of that in a row. We've never seen him do that. In fact, he has one of the odd stat lines where I think going into that game yesterday, 6 of the last 8 games, he had 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. So it was a lot of just kind of doing whatever, not doing a lot, but not looking awful. And there is something to be said for us knowing that he's not a bust right now, I guess.
I mean, I guess, but is that no, listen, I'm not going to go back home and say to my friends and be like, hey, so tell them something good about the Jaguars. Well, Trevor Lawrence in our first round pick, he's not a bust.
That's the best I can do. That's what I'm telling you. I'm just being honest.
So that's the set. Well, and it's of all people, you too, Brent, right? You're Mr. Sunshine and Rainbows. You always trying to find the positivity of everything and the bright side of everything. I respect it. Way too much work, way too much energy, but I respect it. But even you, it's got to the point now where, hey, you're on the dark side, man. you're hanging out with me and Casey on the dark side, and we're glad to have you. But all of a sudden, you start tweeting some negativity on Twitter. You start getting that like bump a little bit, start getting those retweets, and you fell in love with the power, didn't you? You weren't power hungry. It corrupts all, and now you're on the dark side.
No.
It's great to have you, Brent.
I don't
great
like you people. I don't like that.
That's all right,
man. I don't like being on that side.
Welcome to the dark side.
I can't stand it. I hate myself.
Casey, man,
I
welcome,
found myself playing a
gift,
lot of Pac-Man in the last 24
hours
as
gift
therapy.
Basket. Let's give him that gift basket. Welcome to the dark side, Brent.
It's a good spot
good.
to be in.
It feels good.
It's awful.
Power crew. Power just feels the power, man.
So I say this. Let's assume Baalke doesn't come back, because if I ask this question, everybody's going to be like, fire Baalke. What's the next move the Jags can make to get out? Because it is a league where you can't escape it if you make the right moves. And now you don't think you need the quarterback right now. So I'm talking, is the coach the most important move, or who they replace from a personnel standpoint? And again, assuming Baalke's not here, which actually is the bigger move? Is it the coach or is it the personnel? Because there have been a lot of years with not enough good players.
So I think it goes coach, then GM, then New Jerseys. But I think with the coach and the GM, you have to work together with it, right? So it's almost like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
Where, the coach is important, but he's got to get along with that GM. So honestly,
you're okay with the coach having influence on the personnel stuff then?
Depending on the coaches, yes, I am.
I say players.
There you go, Casey.
So you think the GM, like that guy picking the players?
Yes.
I think you can make that argument.
If you looked at what was on the field yesterday, they were obviously not as good as the players across the field from them.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Now, they were missing some, but still, even
if they were there, I'd have the same statement.
You know, in a weird way, I'm a big coach-centric guy. I think the coach does matter, and I think this has been the worst coaching I've seen, to be honest with you, up close. So it's really been the worst I've seen.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking the players, they've been missing too many of these picks.
Did you go with coach-centric last time, right?
I did.
Meyer, you did. No, I'm saying we all did, though.
Yeah.
So, maybe switch it up.
And by the way, I think this is what Shad's doing. I think he's going coach-centric. That's going to help pick the next GM. Yeah. I still think that's what he's doing. I think Jim Caldwell or Doug Peterson's going to have a lot of say in the organization. And I don't necessarily think that's a terrible thing.
Yeah.
Because culture is important, too. All right, that's it for us. Jags Report Live tonight at Sneakers at 7 o'clock. And Casey and Brian Middleton coming up, Action Sports Jax OT, and I'm stealing their time right now. Keep it locked on ESPN 690. We'll do it again tomorrow from Top Golf as well at 3 p.m. Have a good one, everybody.
Here's to a new you in 2022. Cora Physical Therapy has opened 2 new state-of-the-art clinics in Kingsland and Brunswick. That means you have 17 clinics to choose from in the Jacksonville region. At Cora, you get access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. We do getting better, and faster. Call today for a free screening. Same-day appointments available. This new year, start to feel like the old you again. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
Men, when you're in the mood for love, but you have ED or PE and those little blue pills haven't worked, here's a message from Prime Men's Medical Center.
I'm Dr. Rabinski. If Viagra, Cialis, or Levitra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center offers custom-blended medications. Men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Call 904-664-8217. We guarantee you'll see results on your first visit or you pay nothing. Call 904-664-8217.
Hello, this is the Crooks Are Us Tips line with an urgent announcement regarding Safe Touch security.
As a crook, by now you surely know the Crooks Are Us golden rule: stay away from Safe Touch houses.
But we just received word that may not be enough now.
Wait till you hear this.
Credible reports have surfaced that Safe Touch security cameras captured one of our associates in the act of breaking into a house. Only the camera was from a neighbor's house across the street.
That is so not fair.
And what this means is it's not enough to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Now we gotta stay way away from Safe Touch houses.
Boss, does that mean we gotta change the Crooks Are Us golden rule?
No, just remember the sentiment.
Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Correct. Be safe, fellow crooks. Safe Touch is everywhere.
Receive free equipment and free installation with monitoring agreement. Terms and conditions apply. Call 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Tobacco-Free Florida knows how hard it is to quit nicotine, which is why we offer different quit options to choose from for free, like 24/7 quit coaches available over the phone, and free 2-week starter kits of quit aids. We're even experimenting with 80s pop music.
I'm giving you up, giving you up, giving you up. I'm letting you up, I'm letting you never come back to smoke. I'll never come back, never come back to smoke. I'll never come back. I'm giving you up.
Or maybe we'll just stick to the ways we know work. Visit tobaccofreeflorida.com or call 1-877-YOU-CAN-NOW for free nicotine patches.
Millions of people use Zoom Phone, the innovative and feature-rich cloud phone system for businesses of any size. Zoom Phone is simple to use, whether you're on a mobile device, desktop, laptop, or desk phone. And because every call is important to your business, Zoom Phone was built with reliability in mind, using geographic redundancy to keep your communications online. Empower your workforce with Zoom Phone. Visit zoom.com/phone system. Zoom, how the world connects.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
ESPN 690 Action Sports Jax. Overtime, we got 30 minutes. There's more stuff to talk about. Besides the Jags, there are other teams out there. And Brian Middleton, I'm going to start with this. I was wrong. I was absolutely incorrect, Brian Middleton. Michigan is no good. They are not any good at the football. As well, Cincinnati really had no business playing Alabama.
Okay, but I was wrong as well. I was on Michigan. I was like, hey, there's some bullies. And, it doesn't look that way, huh?
No, they are terrible. Aiden Hutchinson did not play well, but that's only a one-game sample size, but he did not play well. So I just wanted to let you know that I was wrong about that.
And before you go on to your next thing.
What you got?
Instead of Michigan, honestly, I would have rathered
the Baylor Bears.
I would have rathered them, honestly, at this point. And you know how down I was on Baylor and Cincinnati. Just saying.
You are just cutting. This is becoming like a greatest moments for me on this show.
Well, you're a star.
Well, once again, unexpected. Baylor, hey, they pick up a W, by the way. Matt Corral got hurt. That's pretty bad. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. But by the way, this is Action Sports Jax Overtime on ESPN 690. That is Brian Middleton, in which you heard running the ones and twos. You follow him at the broadcast on. I'm Casey Kurtz. We just talked about the Jags for about 3 hours. That was on Action Sports Jax. Austin Lane, Brent Martineau. And now the decision to we talk about them anymore. And Brian Middleton, I think the answer is no. It's not a good situation right now in Jacksonville. It hasn't been for a couple months. It's continuing to get worse. They got absolutely embarrassed, as everybody thought they would. Half the players on the field, you had no idea who they were due to COVID issues. And then the half that you did know, you wish you didn't because they still were awful. It was not good. And that's kind of where I think everybody's at. I'd love to hear if you have any other takes than it was not good. But I will give you something that is good. And I'm usually not that person. That's usually Brent's job. But I will give you something that was good or is good. Matthew Wright makes his kicks. That's what I got. You got anything?
You mean Urban Meyer's guy?
Urban Meyer's guy.
The
That's
one
right.
that Urban Meyer brought into town?
Yep.
Huh? Replaced the guy that you guys refused to get rid of?
Yep.
Okay. So you're going to give Urban Meyer some credit. By the way, what was the final score?
They lost by 40.
By 40. Okay, let's see. What's the Urban Meyer laugh at? Yeah, right here. Yeah, there we go. That's not me, though. That's Urban. All right? But that's how he feels because you guys just continue to blame him Rightfully so, by the way. Huh? I just wanted to make sure that
Yeah.
guy played. So, yeah, my take. I watched texting with you back and forth.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to flip to multiple games. The Jets-Bucks game went over to Casey and Cincy before
We'll
it
talk
got
about
played
that
on
in a second. Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know what people expected. You called it when I asked you last week if they would stay within 14, and you were like, never.
Yeah, that was
It
the
would
lock
never
of the
happen.
century. Minus, I think I got it early at like 16, and then like the morning of the game, it was like 17 and a half. I took it again.
Yeah.
Because I knew they had no chance.
Yeah, but here's the deal, man. Man, I don't know how you can even really be mad at this point. I think most people who are Jags fans at this point have been through, right? And so at this point, when you're looking at the team, you're looking at maybe Trevor's development, you're looking at where does the team go from here. I think that most Jags fans at this point have been to let's get to next season, let's get to the draft, let's get to free agency, probably for a couple of weeks now. As soon as Urban was fired, I think that most people were there. So, watching this game, yes, disappointing. Yes, it's crazy watching Mac Jones and Bill Belichick smile on the sideline.
That was weird.
I texted you that they were playing Whitney Houston. They were vibing to Whitney Houston. I
Yeah.
want to dance with somebody.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. Now, hold on now. We professionals around here. You're not just going to play 1980s Whitney Houston on me and dance over there. That's not what we're going to do. But apparently they did.
Yeah.
And they just kept scoring. They kept scoring. So,
none of them to Hunter Henry, though. I mean, good Lord. At least give him one. Some of us played him in fantasy.
oh, well, you know my fantasy outcome. Anyway, yeah, man, it's a bad look. Maybe they get another win. At this point, I don't know what else you can really salvage from this season. Just, Trevor don't get hurt.
Yeah, he didn't get hurt, and that's the main priority. We will talk about the Bengals here in a second, also Monday Night Football in a second. But I'm very intrigued by something you just said, and I hadn't really thought about it through my own eyes because that's really all I can do. And you said something along the lines of Jags fans, I don't think they're mad anymore. And that's a fascinating take because in 2018, I was mad because we thought they were going to be good, right? And they've been horrible, and they were horrible last year. And then there were some times this year where you could be mad. Like I was mad when they lost to the Jets. As a fan, I was mad when they lost to the Jets. But I wasn't mad that they lost this game. And to your point, I don't get mad a lot anymore because I don't care. I knew they were going to lose by a lot. And it was obvious in the first quarter that they were not going to cover the spread. So I was on my computer. I was doing things. I was playing games on my phone. I was chilling. Amanda took a nap. Amanda loves the Jags more than like most things for some reason. God bless her. Probably more than me sometimes.
Okay.
She took a nap after the first quarter. She's like, I'll come back for the other games. I was like, okay, more power to you.
Wow.
So that's an interesting point that you just said. Like they don't like Jags. I'm sure people do get mad, but there was nothing really other than it's abysmal and you're embarrassing. Like you can be mad about that, but that's an interesting point. Like there's nothing really to be mad about because any realistic person knows they were going to get smacked.
It's like, Casey, I liken it to, I've messed up some relationships before in my life. Huh?
Okay.
That's why I'm nowhere, I'm nowhere near the love doctor or, anything like that, right? Relationship guru.
Yes.
But it's like when you get in a relationship with a girl and she keep telling you one thing just over and over and over again, fix it, and you don't, and then she stops saying that. If she stops saying that and she always smiling at her phone and she always just, geeky gaga, but to you, the emotion is just gone. She ain't even angry anymore. It's done. She's over it. And I just think that's what the Jags are at. They're done. They're over it. They like, get Trent Baalke out of here, get Urban out of here, which they've done, get any other player that's not going to work out of here. We're over it. We'll take Trevor. We'll take Josh Allen. We'll take Shaq Griffin, and we'll just hodgepodge it together over the next couple of seasons. But we're done with this iteration of the Jaguars, Shad. Get it together.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that's another interesting thing. They were doing that a little bit at the end of the show. You can find that in the third hour of the podcast, but just Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts, or you can go back and watch the stream once we're done with it here on OT. But we were informally taking a poll of who's going to be on the team next year and who's not. And I think we'll do this after the season ends and it's a little easier to look back on, but there's a case for like the players that you named. Not all of them. Like I believe Josh Allen should be on the team and will. Trevor, obviously. But they brought up some names along the lines of Myles Jack, Marvin Jones, and that's pretty much all you have to hang your hat on, keep in mind. Shaq Griffin is another one. And it's like, how many of them will really be here? If you do end up firing Trent Baalke and you really do clean house, like how is let's just use Doug Peterson as an example. Let's just use next coach. It's not even worth it. Next coach, how are they going to feel about Shaq Griffin, who's played okay, but to Brent's point, J.C. Jackson's going to be available, and you have a ton of cap room. Okay. Rayshawn Jenkins, he got hurt, but how are you going to feel about him? You pretty much have to feel a type of way about Tyson Campbell. He's been, okay, and you drafted him where you drafted him, and, he's given you reasons to believe that you should hold on to him. But how do you feel about Marvin Jones? How do you feel about DJ Chark, who's been hurt? Dan Arnold is a guy that probably should be on the team, will he? I think Laquan Treadwell, Amanda said this, that he should be on the team next year, and I said no. But
is that how you said it? Just no?
No, because she kept telling me why he should have been on the team. I got to give it to Amanda. I tell you what, she's a good fan, but she's like loyal to a fault. You know what I mean? Like she last year for the longest time, like really wanted them to keep Gardner because she liked Gardner. But then now she's like, she loves Trevor, so it works out. But anyway, she's like loyal to a fault. She's like, well, Treadwell, he's been okay. He does some bad things, but he does some good things. And I'm like, yes, but that doesn't mean if you're the best player on the worst team, what does that make you? And I'm not saying Treadwell's the best player, but
sounds like that's what you were saying.
No, I mean, he's been okay. But look, this is what I said to Amanda, and this is how I feel about it. He should have an opportunity to compete in camp to be on the team. It's up to the organization to draft a receiver, potentially two, sign one in free agency, bring DJ Chark back, whatever it may be. But he should have an opportunity to at least be on the roster. He in no way, shape, or form should just be on the roster because of what happened this year. Nobody did anything this year on this team that gives them an automatic roster spot if money and draft position weren't a factor. So I guess we'll have to see. But the long and short of that is it's horrible. It is very bad. And we didn't get to talk about the Bengals. We'll do this before we do vague headlines. But, man, the Bengals figured it out. And the Bengals were horrible, too, keep in mind. They figured it out. They got the quarterback, which the Jags believe they have. So check one, check two. They got their receivers. Granted, they got T. Higgins at the same time they got the quarterback. That's fair. They got Jamar Chase, who some believe will be the offensive rookie of the year. It'll definitely be Mac Jones. But, if you want to make money plus 175, not a big deal. But the way I look at it, the Bengals are how you build it. Like Brent wants to cite the Bills. I think that's just too ambitious. The Bengals, maybe they're getting lucky. Maybe they're actually good. It'll be a couple years before we find that out. But we know they're good right now because their young quarterback is good and they have the playmakers around him. We'll talk about that. We'll do some vague headlines. We'll talk about Monday Night Football. We got more to do. Action Sports Jax Overtime. Stick with us on ESPN 690. This is Action Sports Jax.
I think I'm getting closer and closer to doing the anatomy of the screenplay. I mean, what the hell? I mean, why can't we run a screen in Jacksonville for 14 years since I've been here? 14 freaking years we can't run a screenplay. And then on defense, we can't stop the damn thing. They can't stop a screenplay. We can't run a screenplay. What is going on in Jacksonville? I mean, it's unbelievable. They run screenplays in high school.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Today, sunny, windy, and much cooler with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Tonight will be chilly. Temperatures will fall into the upper 30s with only a few clouds. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedrick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds. Get the guaranteed lowest price at the only locally owned diamond store in the St. John's Town Center.
Hey, Carrie, we need that tax report by tomorrow. Hey, Bobby, get me that expenses.
For Hari's accounting firm, client growth is exponential.
I know we're a couple of accountants short.
He needs whip-smart accountants at whiplash speed.
Hey, so why aren't these receivables matching up?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This tax filing season could be one for the record books. There are thousands of dollars worth of new tax credits on the table. And Jackson Hewitt will help make sure you get every one you deserve. Tax credits for being a parent, taking care of a parent, taking classes, and so much more. Don't leave thousands on the table. Jackson Hewitt will make sure you get credit for all you do and get your biggest refund guaranteed. Learn more and find your nearest location at jacksonhewitt.com.
Without the ones like you, who work tirelessly to keep things running, everything would suddenly stop. Hospitals, factories, schools, and power plants, they all depend on you. No matter the weather, emergency, or time of day, you're the ones who get it done. At Grainger, we're here for you 24/7, with supplies and solutions for every industry, and access to product specialists ready to help. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yes, Miss Tubbs. No problem. I'll call someone about the plumbing.
One of Beatrice's properties needs a new superintendent.
Custodial team is not...
Someone with handyman superpowers and a concierge alter ego.
Does anyone know any good electricians near Parkville?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jax on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Action Sports Jax Overtime, ESPN 690. Brian Middleton on the ones and twos. Casey Kurtz with you as well. Lead you into some Monday Night Football coming up. We got the Browns, we got the Steelers. Apparently Big Ben's last game in Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that in a little bit. We got some vague headlines as well. But we just talked in the break, Brian, and this is what I took from our conversation. It is like, it's beyond belief. Like you said, because you're a well-documented not Jags fan, but you live here.
Well, it's like a secondary team.
Yeah.
Like I want them to do well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, exactly.
It makes everybody's life better. Everybody eats.
Yep.
It's a happier time for the next 30 minutes or an hour or 3 hours in your case. Like, I need
3.5 hours some days.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love for them to do better. So, yeah, I'm not a fan initially, like the primary team, but secondary, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Go Jags.
All right. I like it. So, anyway, to make that point, you said, thank God 2017 happened for, like, the city and the fans. And I agree with you, but at the same time, like, I just wonder, after Brent presented the new information, and it really wasn't new information, but that if they hired Josh McDaniels instead of keeping Doug Marrone, that they might have blown it up and started over and drafted a quarterback, presumably, right? So it's like, okay, it's like you look back, thank God 2017 happened, and yeah, if they hadn't, they would have never, like, they'd be horrible still. They are still horrible, but there would have been that one little bit of hope. So just for fun, though, if they did blow it up in 2017, it may have been a whole lot better. They would have drafted a quarterback, likely.
Okay.
And the way that it worked out, you wouldn't have had to worry about drafting Trubisky because they traded up to get him.
No, absolutely. I can see that.
So you draft Mahomes, you draft Watson. I mean, I agree with you that 2017 happened, but at the same time, I'm like, would it have been the worst thing if they blew it up and drafted a quarterback in 17 and started over? Where would they be right now?
Well, in hindsight, yeah, I agree with both of those names you just said.
Yeah.
That is, oh, man, that scenario is more ideal than where you find yourself. But Casey Kurtz, 2008, 5-11, 2009, 7-9, 2010, 8-8. There you go. 2011, 11 losses.
Right.
2012, 14 losses. 2013, 12 losses. 2014, 13 losses. In 15, 11 losses. 16, 13 losses. 2017, 10-6. You made the run, and then you got back to consistency. In 18, 11 losses, 19, 10 losses. Last year, 15 losses, and you may match that total again with an extra game. But right now, you got 14 losses. My goodness, man. You hear me?
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what it's like to be a primary Jags fan.
It's tough.
Check the Danes Point Bridge. My goodness.
It's tough. By the way, I tweeted out your your little quote, "Are you even mad anymore?" if you're a Jags fan. And we got a couple replies on Twitter. Just absolutely over the team and feeling sorry for Trevor just about sums it up at Bold City Jag. All right, fair enough. Got a lot of fire Baalkes in there. This is a good one. For me personally, it's a mixture of both. I said, are Jags fans even mad anymore or just over it? Because that's the question. And this one is, for me personally, it's a mixture of both. I'm just over the whole thing, but the fact that Baalke still has a job infuriates me. And that's a good point. Like, there's nothing more that can be said. Like, if you're a diehard, if you're listening to sports radio, you understand. And so that's why I thought it was just a fascinating point that you had just brought up about 2017 and all that. But here's the thing. To me, it comes back to the Cincinnati Bengals. So bad. Had some success a little bit, made some playoffs, did some things real bad after that. Coaching, let go, didn't have the quarterback. Well, then you draft a quarterback, and you draft some playmakers with him. T. Higgins, he gets hurt, obviously. The whole world tells you to draft an offensive lineman. You take his wide receiver from college, and look what happens. Make some moves on defense. It sounds relatively similar to the Jags, does it not? You draft the quarterback. Okay, you've done that. Technically, if you want to get technical, they did draft Trevor the Weapon from his college.
Okay.
It just didn't work out because he got hurt.
Yeah.
And we might find out that it still could. You did sign some pieces on defense. Shaq Griffin, Rayshawn Jenkins, Roy Robertson-Harris just didn't work out the same. But you still have an opportunity to do that because if you're following the Bengals model, you're still 1 year behind. You still have another year. And that's why it's pretty straightforward to me that they're definitely going to draft Justin Ross with the 33rd overall pick. I'm almost guaranteed of that now. I don't know what they're going to do with the first overall pick. But to me, it's clear as day that's the model you have to follow. You have to get better on defense. They didn't fix their offensive line. They've tried. It didn't work. And people don't want to hear this or believe it. The Jags' current offensive line is better than Cincinnati's offensive line currently. The problem is they've been excelled so much by Joe Burrow and the playmakers they have. So you sign a receiver. They're going to draft Justin Ross, I believe, if the medicals clear out. Obviously, that's going to be some problems. But I'm just getting mad Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow vibes with Justin Ross, Trevor Lawrence, by the way. Trevor Lawrence has thrown more yards to Justin Ross than anybody. So that's going to play in. Am I wrong here, Brian Middleton, to think the Bengals are what you look at and not necessarily the Bills is like a longer-term thing? Cincinnati's done it quick. Again, will it be will they be able to keep it going long-term? I have no idea. And they don't know that. Because if they keep getting Joe Burrow hurt, no. But right now, it's working. And I think that's the model you have to look at if you're the Jags right now.
Yeah, I mean, sure, that's fine. I don't hear anything that sounds like I would disagree. I mean, don't follow the Bengals model too closely because Burrow, he was hurt. He got injured, like you said. But here's the deal, man.
I'm counting the Burrow hurt year and the Trevor first year because, I mean, we've all been hurt by this.
Wow. Okay. Here's the deal, though. With Trevor, I just think that maybe not just Trevor, with that offense, and I've said it a couple of times, and I know a lot of people disagree. And I'm like, what is he talking about? The way that the offense was constructed for this season, even if you had minor injuries where people were out maybe a month, 6 to 8 weeks, 2 weeks, something like that, not for the whole year, I was excited about the possibilities that you had.
Yeah.
Because they didn't even have Arnold yet. And I was like, okay, this may work. But even once they picked up Arnold, I mean, by then we didn't have, ETN. But, if you just think about that lineup, I just need to know what we have. I wish that there could be some type of alternate universe where we could just see what we have with that. Because that continuity between Trevor and Travis is important. And
it
I think
counts.
It's very important.
It should be considered, yeah.
And then you have Chark, you have Arnold. You got some of the other pieces that you found. You stumbled across Agnew. I don't know if you use him as much as you did prior to some of the injuries when you were trying to figure out what the focus was, and that was speed. Urban was really big on speed. I mean, I'm excited about the pieces that they have, but yeah, there needs to be some changes. If the Bengals model is what you're trying to go for, by all means, But here's the deal: at the end of the day, You're going to have to protect Trevor. And I know you just continue not to be the highest on the offensive line, but you just said that the line for the Jags is better than the Bengals.
Right.
That's what you just said.
It's true.
And you got to protect Trevor because that's your investment. And so you win and lose games. It sounds corny. It sounds cliche, but it's so true at the line. Can you protect your quarterback? Can you run when you need to? Can you get that 4th and 1, that 3rd and 1 when you need to? Absolutely. And on the defensive line, can you create a new line of scrimmage? Can you disrupt the running game? Can you get pressure on the QB? Every other position is important, but if you can win at the line offensively and defensively, that is a lot of the battle. Look at the Super Bowl last year. Look at what the Bucs did having Patrick Mahomes he was skating left to right, trying to throw sideways, horizontally. He was a Superman throwing the ball because that front four, along with, the linebackers were bringing pressure, but that front four was making such a difference every play. So, those have to be the focus, in my opinion. Make sure you're protecting Trevor with our offensive line and that they can actually bend people to their will so that whoever's the running back there, whoever they bring in can actually, pound and go for 4.5 yards per rush. And then defensively, can we get pressure? Can we establish a new line of scrimmage on a consistent basis?
It's an interesting comparison you made because when they beat Buffalo, Josh Allen was doing the same things you just described the Bucs doing to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. The front four were actually doing something, and then Josh Allen was a problem as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's a good – I'm with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, you have to protect Trevor, and that's why I'm not necessarily against picking offensive tackle at 1 if you don't trade out of it. And I'm just telling you, I feel it. I feel it in my heart that they're going to pick Justin Ross 33rd. I want them to pick Drake London. They're not going to do that. They're going to pick Justin Ross. You heard it here first. Remember this on the second day of the draft when they get that pick up there, and it's Justin Ross. So we'll have to see. We do got more to do. We got vague headlines to do. We're going to hit a quick break. We're going to be right back here. Action Sports Jax Overtime on ESPN 690.
Transmission problems? Call Action Transmission Specialists on Merrill Road, where you get the work done right the first time by the experts. I'm Robin Sidbury, the owner. Our techs can service all makes and models, and we provide a nationwide warranty, so you have the peace of mind knowing we solve your transmission troubles fairly and honestly and guaranteed nationwide. Call us at Action Transmission Specialist on Merrill Road, where quality counts. Get traction. Call Action at 744-0755.
Here's to a new you in 2022. Cora Physical Therapy has opened 2 new state-of-the-art clinics in Kingsland and Brunswick. That means you have 17 clinics to choose from in the Jacksonville region. At Cora, you get access to licensed, passionate clinicians, only the most innovative equipment, and life-changing therapies. We do getting better, and faster. Call today for a free screening. Same-day appointments available. This new year, start to feel like the old you again. CoraPhysicalTherapy.com, treating everyone right.
In today's world, there's a lot of ways to know what's happening. At Action News Jax, we make sure our local stories have more detail, so you get every angle that impacts you. We dig for answers because you deserve the whole story. Taking time to provide context so you're clear on what's really going on. Because we know information is thrown at you 24/7, and we want you to know that Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
Stop everything. Why? Because it's the final days of Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota. Don't wait. Make today the day to shop Toyotathon at Arlington Toyota with 300 new Toyotas available. And you'll buy with total confidence thanks to Arlington's 30-day exchange policy. That's 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it. Plus, every new car purchase at Arlington Toyota comes with a lifetime warranty. But you're running out of time. Only days remain until Toyotathon is gone. So stop everything and shop in person. 10939 Atlantic Boulevard and online at arlingtontoyota.com. Hurry!
Looking for a great career that can take you places? The Jacksonville Transportation Authority offers miles of opportunity, and the JTA is now hiring bus operators. We offer competitive pay and benefits with a starting wage of $16.43 per hour. We're offering hiring bonuses from $10,000 to $15,000. CDL training is available, and JTA will pay for relocation to Florida. And the Sunshine State has no income tax, so your paycheck goes further. Stop looking for a job. Get yourself a new career with the JTA.
Whether on your radio, on your phone, or your smart speaker.
Now playing ESPN Radio.
He's seen guys that's not even going to make the team. He's going to throw for 4,000 yards in a game.
Wake up with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. Weekday mornings starting at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ESPN2.
Oh, man. I'm telling you. This is the same thing with Brent and Austin. We should have some OnlyFans type.
Whoa.
Hold on. And I'm not saying OnlyFans, like no one's gonna pay for that. But
can't do it.
We need some sort of OnlyFans type thing for the commercial break so you can hear what we're talking about. Like, because that would have been a good one. You totally just disrespected Keyshawn Johnson, but we can't talk about it on
What
the air.
kind of snitching is that? First of all, I didn't even finish the statement.
I didn't tell you. I didn't say what you said.
Because I didn't finish the statement. You can't tell the people anything.
I'm just saying, you made some comments about Keyshawn Johnson
as a
football player. As a football player.
No, it was strictly commentary.
As a football player.
It was strictly as in his broadcasting career.
As a football player. All right.
But to your OnlyFans.
Can't do it.
I'm just saying we need something like in the break so like you can hear what we're talking about. But like the regular audience ain't ready for that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like we have to charge.
All right.
Because we'll get fired, all of us.
Well.
Like we're not saying anything like, here's the thing. I'm going to let you in to the underbelly of what happens at this radio station.
Tread lightly.
I am. And I'm really considering what I'm saying. So in the breaks, me, Brent, and Austin, we don't talk about anything other than first of all, most of the time we talk about like other normal things that are happening in the world. Except on Mondays, we do continue usually to talk about the Jags because that's what we talk about on the radio. We're not saying anything different than said on the radio. We're just using different words. Instead of saying they're so bad, we don't say so. We say other words that start with like F.
Oh, yeah, y'all get busy.
Yeah, so that's like we're not actually saying anything different. We're not disrespecting anybody any different. And that's the cold, honest truth.
Not enough dump button.
There's not enough dump button.
For the commercial break conversations around here.
Yeah, and it's nothing like we're not spilling any secrets. Like if the mics happen to turn on, the only thing that would happen is we get fined because of all the curse words. Like that's the only thing that would happen. So that's why we need the OnlyFans for the radio. What would the OnlyFans for the radio be called? Like only what? I don't know. I think just maybe only.
I'm going to leave that alone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know is this is Action Sports Jax Overtime. That's Brian Middleton. I'm Casey
Sports
Kurtz.
Jax Uncut.
That's a good one.
Is it?
That's a good like podcast. You know what I mean? Like that's like a good yeah, I like that. Listen. We got plenty of time to figure it out because it's 2022. It's only January. We got plenty of time to figure this out. 2021 is behind us. 2022 is here, but also ahead of us at the same time. And what's ahead of us right now, and no longer ahead of us because we caught up to it finally, is vague headlines, Brian Middleton.
Hey, that's right. Listen, man, vague headlines, the segment where Casey chooses between two generic-sounding headlines he wants to hear more about. One is sports-related, one is non-sports related, and from there, anything can happen. So, Casey, you ready?
Oh, you know it.
All right, man. So, first two. When balling goes wrong, or who you got? When balling goes wrong, or who you got?
How about when balling goes wrong?
Okay, well, that's a non-sporting headline. Actual headline. No. Florida man misappropriates COVID money. So, a South Florida man tried to game the U.S. government, but he failed to realize you can't hustle a hustler, especially one bigger than you. Let's take it to CBS Miami for more.
A Fort Lauderdale man charged with fraudulently obtaining COVID relief loans made his first appearance today in federal court. Indictment says Valesky Barossi applied for more than $4 million in PPE loans using falsified information. Barossi and his accomplices allegedly collected more than $2 million in the scheme. He faces up to 132 years in prison.
And so, Casey,
That's
before
it?
you, now hold on. Yeah, I know, right? It should be double, right? Listen.
They didn't even make Antonio Brown leave the league.
Well, listen,
They
132
did now,
years
though.
in a row, that's a lot. But look, his name is, I'm going to chop it up, Valesky Barossi.
Okay.
Let me tell you something. When I saw the mugshot, not what I was thinking. I'm just going to leave it there because I don't want to get in trouble. Not what I was thinking at all.
Now I don't know what I'm thinking.
But it was said that this guy, some of the things that he purchased was a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Rolex.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton.
Okay.
Yeah, he like the way I did that. Louis
I
Vuitton.
did like that. Yeah.
And more. So, Casey, I've assumed that you've done a considerable amount of dirt in your young life, right? Nothing about your character, but honestly, come across that way.
Yeah.
So without incriminating yourself or dry snitching, even though you snitched on me about Keyshawn.
Yes, I did.
What?
They call me. No, they don't.
What do they call you?
Takashi. Yes. I was
Casey
going to say
6'9".
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't think it would sound right.
To Casey 6'9" in the building. What's one of the craziest schemes you ever pulled off successfully?
That is a good question, but I'm going to answer it with something that I almost pulled off. Is that good?
Well, it doesn't answer the question, but go ahead.
Well, because this guy almost pulled it off.
Okay.
So I was like 4, and I really messed with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If my mom's listening, she'll know where this is going. So I stole these Yu-Gi-Oh cards this is in Indiana. I jacked them, straight up took them right off the counter, right in front of the cashier, I guess, at this Family Express gas station, and I took them. And I thought I had it. I thought I had it unlocked. So I get home, I go to the bathroom to hide the cards. I don't know why, behind the toilet. I thought that was the safe spot. My mom would never found them. So here's the thing. At the age of 4, I guess I had a guilty conscience. I turned myself in. So my mom made us go back to the store and give the cards back. And the cashier said he knew that I stole them, but didn't call me out on it.
What?
That's a true story, folks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were a thief at a young age.
Yes.
You pulled it off.
Yes. And then turned myself in.
So it was the Family Express. What was next? Wells Fargo?
Yeah.
What's going to be next?
Yeah, I went right from Family Express to like big time major banks.
Okay, I got you. Oh, nice. All right, so it's good to know. I'll make sure to watch my Yu-Gi-Oh cards around here.
Please,
Okay.
Please do. You know what those things are worth these days? Should have kept it.
Actually,
all right?
yeah,
Who knows what was in that pack?
Actually, he should have. All right, next 2. There's a doctor on the ice or table for 6. There's a doctor on the ice or table for 6.
Let's go doctor on the ice, please.
All right, another non-sport headline, kind of, but it takes place at a sporting event. All right, so a hockey fan, actual headline, a hockey fan spotted a staffer's suspicious mole from the stands, saving his life.
I saw this.
You did see this. Okay, so for more on this, let's take it over to News Nation Now's Rudabeh Shabazi for more.
Wow.
Heckling is widely regarded as part of the live sports experience, but an interaction with an opposing team's fan may have saved the life of an equipment manager for the Seattle Kraken. Vancouver Canucks fan Nadia Popovici banged on the glass to alert Brian Hamilton of a potentially dangerous mole on his neck, and now the Canucks and the Kraken are rewarding her for her heroic work with a $10,000 scholarship to medical school.
Yeah, medical school
Yeah.
got cut off right at the end. Listen, man, such a cool story. What's cool about it is the guy got it checked out by the team doctors. Team doctors were like, yeah, we're concerned. Go to another doctor. They checked it, actually removed it. It had cancerous cells in it, but they caught it so early it hadn't penetrated the second layer of skin.
Wow.
Which would have been life-threatening, as it progressed.
Yeah.
So, crazy story. I mean, like, that's
it's
amazing.
nuts.
And the girl, she was actually in the interview and she was saying how she banged on the little wall to get the person's attention.
On the
and
glass.
And then she actually texted the information because you have a mask on. I guess you can't take it down to do that.
True.
And he read it and it said the guy said he initially nodded but kind of shrugged and moved on. And so when he was trying to make sure that he could find her, like, he never knew if he was going to be able to, like, contact her to thank her or whatnot. It was a whole ordeal. They got social media involved. It's really good. Anyway, Casey, you're pretty observant. What's the wildest thing you ever caught that saved the day? Maybe not someone's life, but it made things right that could have went terribly wrong.
Every time we do these, I forget that I'm going to have to consider my entire life in a split second.
Well, I tell you that I could send these to you early on so you can at least have some idea, but you're like, no.
I feel like it's better this way.
I shoot from the hip. I like it. Yeah.
So nothing comes to mind, but I told you this story recently. The surfboard next door at UNF. She hit him with a surfboard. Remember when I told you that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I won't go into too much detail, but I guess the bad had already happened there. But I pretty much cracked a crazy case at UNF. Shout out UNF, go Ospreys. Where the dorm room next to me, there was some commotion. And I was wondering what was going on. Didn't really do anything about it until I got a knock on my door and find this dude all bloody. And I said, what happened? She said he fell or something like that. It was a girl and a guy. And so I was a little concerned. So we get the UPD involved, and then turns out she hit him with a surfboard. Long story short, she just popped him right across the face with a surfboard. So it doesn't really answer your question at all, but I felt like I stopped at least more domestic violence. That's got to count for something.
Got to count for something. Got to count for something. All right, man, we're going to move on to the final two. Mo money, or spicy chicken Tesla vibes. More money, mo money, or spicy chicken Tesla vibes.
Spicy chicken Tesla vibes, please.
Joke's on you. They're both the same story because it's so big. Here we go.
Wow, okay.
All right, actual headline. Powerball drawing is tonight. Now,
Okay.
Casey, over the past months, we've established some absolutes about you.
Yeah.
I mean, we figured out that this is the college team that you truly believe in.
The Baylor Bears! Yep.
And then we also established that you are the white Megan Thee Stallion of Jacksonville sports media. You know? And then we and then we moved on to talking about, the lottery, and you gave us one of our most foundational statements that the show runs on right now. Everybody knows it already. Let's play it.
I want to eat a spicy chicken in my Tesla. Is it too much to ask?
Yeah.
I don't think it's too much.
Yeah, it's not too much. And that brings us to this moment right here. There was no winner in the first Powerball drawing of 2022.
Okay.
Which is why I'm still here right now.
Okay,
But
good
hey,
to know.
the jackpot rolls over to an estimated $522 million for tonight. So we all have another chance at eating spicy chicken sandwiches in our Teslas. Casey, we are hours away from you potentially having LeBron James type money.
Yeah.
So question, do you want to play tonight's Powerball with me? And then the second one is, if you do, why just help me out, help out all of our listeners, and give 6 numbers so that they can partake in the win as well?
Okay, so here's the thing about the Powerball. Brett Martineau, a big player as well. Surprising, I know. I don't really like. It's very odd. Like scratch offs, I get it. I read the instructions. I don't understand the whole picking numbers thing. Like when Brent would buy lottery tickets, like before high school football or something. And I'm totally adding Brent right now. They would just come with numbers on them. I don't know why, because I know you can't pick your numbers, but I don't play the usual lottery, so I don't even know what numbers are in play here. So I guess I could give you numbers if you just is it 0 to 99?
0 to 69.
Are you kidding?
I know. It's not me. It's not me. It's the lottery. It's the Powerball. Yeah, 0 to 69.
I definitely get 28 in there for sure. The Jags lost by 40, so get 40 in there. Got to have a single digit as well. I'm thinking 3. How many more do I need?
You need 3 more.
Right now I'm 2 minutes over a break, so I'll also go with 2. I'll go with 3 and 2. That's pretty risky, but trust me. There's got to be a 60 number as well. Give me 64, and give me, for some reason, Hideki Matsui, number 55 with the New York Yankees.
Okay, I think the actual Powerball number has to be between like 1 and 20 something.
So give me then number 2 on the Powerball number.
Wow. 3 single ones. Okay, cool. Yeah, everybody. So here you go. If you want those numbers, what is it again? 28, 40,
I have no idea.
3, 2, 64, and then 2 again. Wow.
Yes, correct.
Right.
That is correct.
Tell them to bring me my money. Hey, just make sure that you give us some of that cash if you guys win it. But Casey, are we gonna play it or not?
I'm not. What do you mean we? We can play as a team?
I'll talk to you off air. Anyway, that's it. That's it for Vague Headlines, guys.
Oh, man. Oh, Brian Middleton, appreciate you. We're almost out of time here, but before we are out of time, we are going to let you know Monday Night Football is coming up on ESPN 690. That's going to be the Steelers. That's going to be the Browns. And that's going to be it for Big Ben Roethlisberger as a member of the Steelers, we so believe. Brian Middleton, when I say Big Ben Roethlisberger, your first thoughts are what exactly?
That winning streak he had when he first came into the league.
Interesting.
I think like his rookie year. When they won like 14, I feel like 13 or 14 in a row. And they didn't win the Super Bowl that year. But I remember the whole hullabaloo about that, which is so crazy. So yeah, I mean, he's always been
been
winner.
there. Yeah.
And he spent his entire career there, we presume, right?
We presume, yes, we presume.
And, he had his ups and downs. You want to talk about, things kind of getting smoothed over. He had some stuff that, if we're going to compare him to AB, his stuff was worse.
Yeah, a lot worse.
But then again, he had to also deal with AB. So, I guess it almost, it might even out. But, overall, Big Ben, he's a Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champion, multiple-time Pro Bowler. Not going to be able to tell the story of the NFL without him. And so, yeah, man, he'll go down as one of the greats because his draft was the one with, I believe, Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning.
Yes.
I believe so. And that's a formidable class when you start looking at it. So, yeah, big props to him. And if it is his last game, it was a pleasure to be able to see, him play for all those years. Absolutely. What about you?
Let me ask you this before I give you my thoughts as I continue to talk. You said it, Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, who would you take? Like if you could do it over?
Oh.
Knowing everything you know right now. Eli got 2. Big Ben got 2. Phillip Rivers got 0. But it
would just depend on the team. But just to a player, I probably would still go with Big Ben. But it's close between him. Honestly, it's close between him and Phillip Rivers. And, I get the whole Eli Manning thing, and he beat the Pats twice. And
he did.
He knocked out the 16-0 team. Like, I get it.
He did do that, too.
I get it. Just give me Big Ben, because at their height, Big Ben was just as durable, if not more so, and he was mobile for a while. And, he would actually, run over you. Like, he was a more durable QB, and the passing arm, Rivers probably had the better arm out of the three of them. But all three are greats, all three are Hall of Famers. So stand up, give them all their flowers right now. So big shout out to him. But what about you, Casey?
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because like when I think of Big Ben, now granted, I don't have any thoughts of Big Ben between 2004 and like 2008 at best, or I would say 2007, 2008 I do. Because they won the Super Bowl and that was in Tampa and I lived in that area, so whatever. Am I wrong if I'm looking at the numbers, like they're good. The Super Bowls, 415 touchdowns, 64% completion percentage, 64,000 yards pretty much. He's good. If you draft somebody number 1 overall, you'd be more than happy to get those numbers, especially if you draft them 11th overall and they stay on your team for that long. Don't get me wrong. Probably a Hall of Famer, but like, he all right. Like, I don't know. They're making a big deal about this, and they should if you're a Steeler because he stayed there the whole time, and I get that. There's something to be said for that for sure, but, he's just a guy, in my opinion.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Now he's just a guy.
I knew that was going to be spot. No, I knew that I was getting there the whole time. I just was trying to figure out how to get there.
You did that on purpose.
No, that's just how I feel. Like, now granted, this is young bias, don't get me wrong, but like never at any point in time in life did I ever think like, oh, like before the season, if I get them when I get Madden, never once was I like, dang, I definitely want to play with Big Ben. You know what I mean? Just a guy, like literally. And
listen,
if I'm doing a fantasy draft on Madden players will understand. I never was like, oh, I need Big Ben. No.
Casey Kurtz, let me give you just another guy, because what you do this so well, man. You do it very well. You get the numbers and you give a broad enough view where people are like, oh, he's being fair. Big Ben is just a guy. Let me give you some of the things that you left out. 2-time Super Bowl champion, you actually added in. NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, that's fine.
That's not.
People do it every now and then, right?
Yeah,
I know it's not an accomplishment, right? Just to get to the highest level of football, professional football, and then be the best rookie out of. How many rounds do they draft? And then how many free agents?
Okay, we don't have time to do this.
Hold on.
But Rookie of the Year is the most overrated award.
6-time Pro Bowler. 6-time? That work for you? Or no, that don't work either. That's cool. 2-time NFL passing yards. You are so in the sake of taking a hot take on.
No,
Big
I'm
Ben.
not.
It's okay.
But listen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, he's 8th right now in Super Bowl passes. Or Super Bowl passes, touchdown passes. Okay, that's a pretty big deal. But here's the names that surround him on that list. Phillip Rivers, Matt Ryan, Eli Manning, Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. So Matt Ryan has an MVP. Phillip Rivers, I've already said how good he is.
You're not going to sit here and tell me Matt Ryan at this point. I mean, it's just...
I'm going to tell you that he got an MVP. What you want me to do? You want to just take the accomplishments away? The man was said to be the best in the league. Not the best QB, the best player in the league. The one that you want Jonathan Taylor to get so badly, the way you feel about him. That. Yeah, that's what they felt about Matt Ryan that year. So when you start saying the names that surround him, yeah, I'm going to point that out. That's all I'm saying. Also, most career 500-yard passing games. You want to know? Ben Roethlisberger. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Wow, look at that.
Listen, I'm standing by my statement. It doesn't do much for me.
Most TD passes in a 2-game span.
That's such a dumb thing. Who cares?
12.
That's kind of impressive.
People are crying about Joe Burrow and his 2-game span. Can I cry about Ben Roethlisberger? Why am I defending Ben Roethlisberger? I don't know. Just because you're being extra calling him just a guy.
He is just a guy. Like, let me tell you, you get mad and you go play with Joe Burrow. Tell you what.
Only player with consecutive games of 6+ TD passes. Only player. All the players that played the game. Not the GOAT. Not the baby GOAT, which is Teddy Bridgewater. None of the other QBs in life have done what Ben Roethlisberger's done with that particular stat. Come on, Casey Kurtz.
Man, we're out of time.
No, hold on. Only player with consecutive postseason games of 4+ TD passes. You're going, look, knock it off. Knock it off.
All right, I'll knock it off. Just play the music. Coming up tonight, Monday Night Football, I guess, listen to Big Ben's final hurrah in Pittsburgh against the Browns, against Baker Mayfield, who you ready for those? You ready for that take?
Thursday.
Okay.
Save it.
I'm going to save
tell him tomorrow on Access Sports Jax.
I'm going to tell you right now, Baker Mayfield might not be anybody's quarterback next year. I said it. I don't think he is. We'll find out.
Called him Johnny Manziel.
That's a good one. I like Johnny Manziel. I had his T-shirt. Anyway, I also have his hoodie. Not important. We're out of time. Action Sports Jax Overtime. We appreciate you. We're back on Thursday. We'll do this program again on Thursday. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, and myself will be back tomorrow. They'll be at Topgolf. I'll be here. We'll be doing the thing. We'll talk more about the Jags, the final week of the regular season in the NFL. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Me and Brian will talk to you on Thursday. Enjoy the Monday Night Football, and we'll talk to you then. Peace.